Good afternoon. Still a few seats here and there, but then there's standing room in the back up there. Okay. Well, good afternoon. Welcome to Wilburn Auditorium. My name is Craig Everett. I will be your MC today. Okay, so welcome to Pepperdine Graziadio Business School, fabulous Malibu, California, for the 2024 Pepperdine Most Fundable Company Showcase. It's presented by the Singleton Foundation for Financial Literacy and Entrepreneurship. But so that applause was pretty good. But let's do this again for the social post. And when I say Most Fundable Company Showcase, you need to go nuts. Okay. All right. So here we go. So hopefully I can do this in one take, but we'll see. Okay, got to get the backdrop there. There we go. Good afternoon. Welcome to the Wilburn Auditorium at Pepperdine Graziadio Business School in sunny and fabulous Malibu, California for the 2024 Pepperdine Most Fundable Company Showcase. That was really good, thank you. So, big welcome also to our online audience who are participating all around the world. Generally, the online audience is much bigger than our in-person audience, but it's a full room, and this is fantastic. So this is the 7th year that we've done this competition, and it's been an amazing journey. For the past 5 years, we've had participants from all 50 states. Not necessarily winners from all 50 states, but at least participants from all 50 states. 2,300 companies participated this year. And so we're here to celebrate the 18 winners. So 2,300 down to 18. It's a grueling process, so big congratulations to all those companies who won this year. Okay, now I'd like to recognize a few distinguished guests who are with us today, and their generous support of our competition throughout the year allows us to share in this moment of celebration. So guests, as I announce your name, please wave so everyone can see where you are, and we can give you wave, and then we give you a huge waves welcome. First and foremost, I'd like to introduce Shelley Miles, who is the CEO of the Singleton Foundation for Financial Literacy and Entrepreneurship. The Singleton Foundation strives to build a world where everyone has the tools and knowledge to manage their finances effectively, and where entrepreneurial thinking lifts everyone. Shelley and her team have some exciting news to share with us later that will involve some audience participation, so please get ready for that a little bit later. They also have a booth outside at the expo, so they look forward to meeting you. I'd especially like to acknowledge and thank the Foundation's founders, Will Singleton, who's a Seaver College alumnus and Pepperdine parent, and his wife, Carrie. Their renewed and sustained title sponsorship of this event is just one of the many impactful initiatives that they support here at Pepperdine. So thank you, Will and Carrie Singleton. We're also thrilled to welcome back to his alma mater our keynote speaker, John Figueroa, who has had a successful decades-long career in healthcare. He's currently founder and executive chairman at CarePath RX, and a very active member of the Graziadio board. He will be more formally introduced in a few minutes, and we are both honored and fortunate to have John here with us today, so please give a big welcome to John Figueroa. He's right there. Next, welcome our distinguished alumnus, Graziadio board member and co-chair of the Entrepreneurship and Family Business Committee, Vince Montepart. So a little bit later, Vince will share important ways that we have adapted and improved the MFC program over the past 12 months. We are also fortunate to be led here by our dean, Pepperdine Graziadio Business School Dean, Deborah Crown, who aligns the Graziadio mission and vision into every aspect of our school. Please welcome Dean Crown. We're also joined by my two colleagues who round out the Most Fundable Companies management team. First, finance professor, associate dean, and Graziadio alumnus, Dr. Clemens Konatsky. And the one who represents us year-round, and many of you have worked extensively with her, our very own program manager, Amy Wood. There's Amy. I'd also like to thank University President Jim Gash, Provost Jay Brewster, the entire Graziadio board, and notably board chair Steve Cavillo, who's over here. And our Most Fundable Companies Advisory Council members, most of whom are here today, and especially our council president, Ron Munman. Lastly, to all of our alumni founders, investors, and supporters, let's give them a big waves welcome back to their school. Okay, so here's a quick overview of the day's schedule. In just a moment, Dean Crown will share a few remarks and introduce our distinguished keynote speaker. Then we'll jump into the Most Fundable Companies presentations from the companies themselves. In between the list winners, we'll hear from our title sponsor, Shelley Miles from the Singleton Foundation, along with Ryan Groves and Landon Phillips. We'll hear from Vince Montepart of the Graziadio board and our gold sponsors, JP Morgan and Witham. Interspersed in there, we'll have a few breaks built in at around 2 p.m. and 3 p.m. Then we'll wrap up by announcing our Fan Favorites Award. So what is that? This is going to be a new thing this year. We'll walk you through it, but there's an app that you can access on your phone. There's a QR code, I believe, in your program that takes you there. And it will allow you to do ratings of each of the companies along the way. And so we'll announce the top 3 winners of our fan favorites. So everybody here, everybody online can all participate in that voting. Okay, so following all the awards, we'll invite you to join us outside on the patio for our celebration and networking reception, where you can get to meet in person these incredible founders and their companies. So without further ado, everyone please welcome to the stage Graziadio Business School Dean, Deborah Crown.
Thank you, Craig. I appreciate it. And those of you, I love this crowd. So those of you standing along the side, come, jump into the front row. I think we've got some seats. We'll take a moment while you do that. Someone can take my seat. I'm happy to go sit on the side. So come on in. And welcome, all of you, to Pepperdine Graziadio. And that includes all of you in this room, as well as all of you who are participating online. To the Most Fundable Companies winners, congratulations. So let's give them a round of applause. You had some tough competition, and you emerged victorious. So we're looking forward to hearing from you today. We're looking forward to watching you and your company's trajectories, and we're also looking forward to working with you and your teams moving forward. And I also want to add to Craig's thanks of our sponsors of this program. We have so many successful entrepreneurs and VCs who are alums and continue to support Pepperdine and Graziadio. And I want to take just a minute to share with you why this event is so important to us. In order to know that, you have to know a little bit about us. So one of the things that many of you know, some of you may not, is that we're so unique in that we are a university and a business school that was founded by entrepreneurs. So think of that. Think of the founding. This institution was founded by entrepreneurs. So we are fortunate to have Steve Calvillo, who's already been introduced, but it was his father-in-law. Our name, Graziadio, comes from a successful entrepreneur willing to invest in higher education. And we pride ourselves on being educational entrepreneurs. The product we produce, we hold ourselves accountable that it has to be entrepreneurial. And so as we look at kind of the success of our alums, one of the things that we are so proud of is that in our ecosystem, as you all know, is you're here today kind of pitching your own companies, and I will share as a dean, I'm going to pitch a little bit as well. I hope you don't mind, but is our system of programs, our executive education is designed to help advance entrepreneurs at all stages of their career. We were just talking earlier, so many institutions are focused on just on the early stages, and so what we're so proud of at Graziadio is that we have programming for entrepreneurs at all of your career stages. And you know that there's a lot of investment at the early stages, and then you hit that cliff once you start to move your firm farther along. So we love this competition because this competition is based on your own experiences, your data that is being evaluated. Okay, same way, I will throw in another little bit of a pitch, is we love our ranking in PitchBook that ranks the highest MBAs in the world. We are ranked number 31. That ranking is not based on opinion. That ranking is based on data. And so today's Most Fundable Companies Showcase, consistent with our ethos of entrepreneurship, is a testament to the power of collaboration. We've brought together entrepreneurs, investors, educators, and enthusiasts from diverse backgrounds, and we've created a space where ideas are nurtured, connections are forged, dreams can take flight. And it's my hope that by the end of this event, every single one of us in this room will have the opportunity to have learned something that moves us forward in our own entrepreneurial journey. Okay, now, I also have the pleasure of introducing our keynote speaker, who is a distinguished alumni of Graziadio, as well as a member of our Graziadio board. And John is a visionary leader whose impact on the healthcare industry is profound. Craig has shared earlier that he is the founder and executive chairman of CarePath RX, a trailblazing company that delivers comprehensive pharmacy solutions and is at the forefront of innovation. And in 2023, CarePath reached a remarkable milestone, with 1/3 of the company sold to Anthem Healthcare for $1.6 billion, and another third sold to Cigna for $1.6 billion. And I know that John, we're going to have the privilege of learning from him directly about his entrepreneurial journey, but I want to share just a couple of little pieces because he has been CEO, chairman, and held presidential positions in a variety of healthcare firms, including Genoa Healthcare, the leading provider of behavioral health pharmacy and telepsychiatry, Apria Healthcare Group, and Quorum LLC, positions he held simultaneously. So I'm going to say that again. positions he's held simultaneously before selling them one for 2.2 and the other for 1.7 respectively, and that's billion again. Omnicare Inc., a Fortune 500 company, and McKesson, we all know McKesson, where he was in charge of corporation's U.S. pharmaceutical group and overseeing a business doing $100 billion in revenue. And I mention these numbers because we are filled with venture capitalists and entrepreneurs. And you know that a single exit is hard work and is admirable. Multiple exits, impressive. Multiple billion-dollar exits, astounding. And what I find equally astounding about John, and something that is so admirable that literally it chokes me up, is that he sacrifices his time and talents consistently to uplift our Pepperdine Graziadio students and our entire community. This is a man who earned his bachelor's degree in political science, industrial relations, and English, who is a military ROTC at UCLA. We'll forgive him that part. We're so proud that he received his MBA from Pepperdine, where, not surprisingly, he has been recognized with our Distinguished Alumnus Award as well as our Inspired Leadership Award. And as a longtime supporter of Pepperdine, just this last year, he provided and endowed our first chair in the business of healthcare. He serves, as we said, on our board. He serves on our executive committees for healthcare. He was a founder of our healthcare symposium, and so you will be getting an invitation to that symposium, which we will hold in February 13th, because you will be amazed at the connections between the work that we're doing in the business of healthcare as well as your own work. And so we invite you to join us there. And we're also so amazingly thrilled that in addition to him teaching at Wharton and Stanford, he will be teaching a course for us in our specialization in healthcare within our professional MBA program. So without further ado, please join me in welcoming a true leader and a friend to Pepperdine and so many of us. John?
Wow, it isn't often I actually don't want to get up and speak after something like that. Thank you very much. That was a very nice introduction. And thank you all for allowing me the opportunity to be here today. It's an incredible honor for me to be in front of a number of the winners of this incredible program. I've been associated with Pepperdine for a long time, as Dean Crown indicated, since the mid-90s. There are two consistencies of this program that I have seen throughout the years. The first, when I was going through the program, and I think it is very well alive today, is that this school emphasizes ethics in business, ethics in leadership, and being an honorable leader when you're out there in the world and conducting business and interacting with people, that is the fundamental truth for success in business, and that has been a consistent theme in our school. The second, and probably just as close as the first, ever since I've been involved with this university, it has been an entrepreneurial school. It has been focused on entrepreneurs since day one of this school, and I think continues to be one of the leaders in the nation today. So it is certainly my honor to be here to speak to you today. As Dean Crown indicated, we started the Healthcare Symposium 10 years ago. And it has become the premier healthcare symposium in the country, talking about the future of healthcare. We didn't want to have a symposium where we just talked about the problems. We wanted to have a symposium where we brought all of the leaders of healthcare in to talk about the solutions and where healthcare in our country is going. Healthcare is 20% of our economy, continues to grow year after year, and as A lot of people say if you don't care about healthcare, someday I promise you, you will. It will catch up to all of us. And last year we had Governor Sununu as our keynote speaker, and he was fantastic. But the best speaker we had was the winner of the most fundable companies last year, Rachel Zayas, who was the winner and the CEO and founder of Aged Diagnostics. And she blew us away. I should say she blew the country away in this program, talking about the difference maker that she has created in this amazing company. For those of you who don't know what she has brought to market, it is a company founded on genomics, and the technology in genomics is just increasing day by day. And using genomics in care is one of the major focuses of research and technology generation within healthcare. Well, she used the genomics technology to transform blood testing when it comes to liver disease. And liver disease, by the time you actually find out you have it, is normally too late. But the program that she's bringing to market, the blood test that she can take, can actually predict if you're going to have liver disease in the future, and therefore you can start to prepare for that, actually delay it, and possibly ignore it altogether. So the difference that she has made has been incredible in such a short period of time. And spending time with her at that symposium, and then having the ability to be here today, that connection of what we're doing here at the school was profound for me and very, very exciting. So what kind of message, can I give you? I mean, and as I was thinking about this over the last couple of weeks, what is the message that I want to send? I actually received a phone call, and it was a phone call from a young lady who I've known for more than 20 years. And I got to know her because she was a good friend of my daughter's, and she was also on her soccer team. And so it was kind of funny that she called me, and I'll tell you the story. So I have to back up a little bit to those soccer days when they were playing soccer. At the time, I was running McKesson, and very large business. I was traveling all the time, Monday through Friday, doing everything you do, in business. And I came home, and my wife said, "Well, I have to tell you that Annie's soccer team doesn't have a coach. They need somebody to volunteer, and you're going to be the coach." A couple of big problems there. The first one was I was traveling like crazy. I couldn't understand how I was going to be able to fit this in. The second thing was I knew absolutely nothing about soccer, never played soccer, don't know the rules about soccer, never watched soccer. But here I am, the new head coach of this 9-10-year-old girls' soccer team. The good news is her best friend, her father, played soccer, professional soccer in Italy, and she was also on the team. So I immediately called him and said, "Ari, I got this great opportunity for you. You need to be my assistant coach. We'll split this up, based on our expertise. You could teach all the girls, you could run the practices, you can do all that stuff. I'll be the motivational speaker, the rah-rah guy, and we should do okay." Well, the season started, and we were an okay team. We weren't that good, but in the middle of the season, we ran into a team that was the defending champions, and they were so darn good. Joe Fuco's team, I'll never forget the guy. And they just killed us. I think it was like 7-0, and rough day. We got through the rest of the season, and like I said, we were an average team, so we made the playoffs, and we were the last seed. And of course, we go into the playoffs pretty darn excited, and who do we play? Joey Fuco. Joey Fuco's team whooped us again. I mean, I think it was like 5-0. And so the season ended on a bad note, but it was a lot of fun. I decided to do it again, so we coached the second season, and we got a couple new girls, and we knew what we were doing, and it was kind of fun. So we were a good team that year. Middle of that season, we played Joey Fuco's team. This time we scored a goal. I think we lost 5-1, but we scored a goal, so there was a moral victory. But as I said, we were one of the best teams in the league. And so when we got into the playoffs, we won a couple of rounds before we got into the semifinals, the Final Four. And the team that we have to place in the semifinals is Joey Fuco's team. So of course that morning we're off to the park, and I'm walking up, before the game, and I'm seeing all my girls kind of walking, towards their heads down, sad, bummed out. And then I hear one of the parents talking to her daughter saying, it was a great season. You don't have anything to be ashamed about. It was wonderful, and next year will be fun. So don't worry about it. It drove me crazy. So I stopped. I got all the girls. I pulled them off the field. We sat under this very nice tree, and I said, "Girls, I don't understand why you're bummed out. I don't understand why you're sad. I don't understand why you're not excited about this game, because you're going to win this game. I'm telling you right now, I guarantee that you're going to win this game. There's no question you're going to win this game. The only question in my mind is whether or not you can beat them so bad that you make them cry." And these girls got so excited. They ran onto the field. They practiced for 10 minutes, got into the game, and I'm thinking, man, I hope that worked. They played the best game we played all season, and 5 minutes left of the game, a few minutes left of the game, we're winning 3-0. And we're winning this game. And here's where things got a little bad. As the girls started to realize that the game was almost over and they were certainly going to win, they started running around the field asking the girls, "You going to cry? Are you going to cry?" The game ends, the whistle blows, the girls run off the field, say, "Coach, we made him cry, we made him cry." Not one of the finest moments in my life. It should have been. The story gets even worse. The parents reported me to the league, and I was kicked out of coaching for unsportsmanlike conduct from that point on. However, let me go back to that phone call, because the phone call was one of the girls on the team. And in fact, we have stayed in contact because they're still friends with my daughter and family friends. And these girls are lawyers and doctors and successful business people, family-oriented folks. And I'm so excited every time they call me. And the conversation is usually one of excitement. They call me and, "Coach, I made somebody cry." And it's really a metaphor for a promotion or something that they have done. So I tell you that story because what other message am I going to tell a group of successful entrepreneurs? Because you get it, you feel it, you're going out in the field to win, to do nothing else but have an impact with the companies that you're bringing to market. And that's extremely exciting to me, to the people that you represent, the people that have been part of this program. As we look at the competition, 2,300 applicants from across the country, and you guys are the finalists and the best of that group. What an incredible accomplishment. So let me tell you a little bit about my story and how it relates, I think, to being an entrepreneur. As Dean Crown indicated, for 30 years, I had the privilege of running a number of large companies. And the $100 billion company at McKesson, when I look back, you're an entrepreneur if you're a successful business person by default. Running a $100 billion P&L, think about this. Every single year, in order to meet my shareholder expectations, I had to grow and build a new Fortune 500 company inside my company just to be successful. So we built new companies, we bought new companies, we had adjacent strategies to go into different areas of the business, we vertically integrated. We had to do everything necessary to continue to grow to keep our shareholders happy. I never considered myself an entrepreneur, but I was a leader of a business. And in order to be successful and continue to grow, we had to do things that required being an entrepreneur in that business segment. And so whether you're working for a small company or a large company or you're building a company, you are an entrepreneur if you're in business and you want to be successful. So I did that for 30 years. In 2018, sold one of the companies, and I thought, well, that's it. I'm going to retire. There's no need continue to do anything else. And as I sat there for that year, I started to study a phenomenon that needed to be fixed. And the situation was this. If you look at our hospital systems today, it's astounding to me that 5 years ago, more than 90% of hospitals would consider pharmacy a cost center. They lose money when it comes to pharmacy. Why? Because they concentrate on that inpatient. They do whatever it takes. They get whatever med is needed for that patient to get them better and move them out of the hospital. Sometimes they have a little retail pharmacy when you're leaving, but for the most part, they don't do pharmacy well. Now, the rest of how could you be in a business and consider pharmacy a cost center when all you got to do is look at the Wall Street Journal? Does CVS consider pharmacy a cost center? Walgreens, United, Optum? Everybody is making money on pharmacy except the hospital system. Then you look a little deeper, and you find that hospitals and doctors associated with hospitals are writing 85% of the very expensive scripts, because these are the sickest of the sick. You're diagnosed with cancer, you get diagnosed by a hospital system, doctors associated with hospital systems. The specialists are associated with hospital systems. They're writing specialty scripts, infusion scripts, chronically ill scripts, scripts that cost $10,000 a dose, and all of that gets outsourced to a third party. And guess what? They do a terrible job. They do a terrible job because they're not focused on their patient. They're focused on getting the script out. They're focused on approving the script or not approving the script. They have a different function as a third party. The hospital doesn't. The hospital is invested in getting that patient better. So why can't we integrate that pharmacy piece into the system? And why can't we own that pharmacy extension instead of giving it away? That was the idea. That was a pretty good idea. So I started pitching it to hospitals, and hospitals said, oh, that's great, except for the fact that we don't know anything about pharmacy. We can't put the funds together to grow this pharmacy. So we built an external pharmacy that we basically can connect to any hospital in the country and run that pharmacy. I can get that med out overnight. I can have it in the hospital. I can extend their pharmacy. I can bring the expertise of a number of pharmaceutical companies and bring it inside the walls of a pharmacy fairly easily. So we did that. We did that in 2019. And at the end of 2022, we had 700 hospitals. And boy, you talk about pitching, right? I never had a bad meeting. I would walk into the CFO and say, listen, all you have to do is hire me. We'll do all the work. We'll build all the infrastructure. We'll do it under your license. We'll bill it for you. Here's the list of all the scripts that you sent out last year. Here's the value of all the scripts you sent out last year. You get to keep 60 to 70% of that profit now. I'm going to keep the rest. I got to get paid something. And that's all you have to do is say yes. We signed up 700 hospitals in those 2 years. We were doing $2.4 billion of revenue. And it was a very huge success, which is why Cigna and Anthem bought me very, very quickly, because they were companies that wanted to be inside the pharmacy hospital business, but it was also because I was stealing their scripts. We kept a third of it to make sure that we continued to maintain the integrity of the mission of what we did for the hospital systems, that they couldn't cross the line in doing the fundamental change of integrating care with patients and protecting the financials for the hospital system. So that was what I would consider my first real experience as an entrepreneur, but it certainly took 30 years of experience before that, before I had the ability or the thought process or the gumps to get out there and do it. That's what happened over the last few years, and I'm very excited and proud of that. So let me end with a few things that I would recommend to you based on my experience. And if there was something somebody would tell me or would have told me back in 2019 or earlier in my career what I should pay attention to, what would that be? And I'm sure you've heard this already, but I'm going to attempt to at least give you my thoughts on what I think is important. If you're bringing something to market, solve for something. Don't come to market and say, gosh, there are 5 companies that do this, and I'm going to be the sixth company, but I know I'm going to do it better than everybody else. You're coming into the market with an O2 count. I mean, I think it's very difficult to be successful with a Me Too strategy, but if you're solving for a problem, if you're solving for something that will change whatever it is that you're bringing to market or the industry or the population, you have a chance to win. So make sure that you are solving for something. Ask yourself this question. Is it new? Is it unique? And is it better? And you don't have to hit all three of those, but you certainly have to hit at least one of those. Is it new? Is it unique? Is it better? And don't fool yourself. Do the research. Make sure you understand what it is that you're bringing to the market that's new, unique, or better. We were talking about this at lunch today and it made me smile because one of the judges was actually talking about this and indicated that a lot of times, this is a miss. And the question is who and what is the market? Who are you serving with this product? What is the market for this product? I give the example of if you came out with the best toothbrush that ever came to market, remember, it's pretty easy. There's how many people in the country? They all have a toothbrush. They switch it every month. The number's pretty finite. I mean, you could figure out exactly what that market is. Other markets obviously are a lot more dynamic than that, but understand, what the market is. And the reason I tell you that is because the other big issue that entrepreneurs find is that their pro forma is unrealistic. And there's no better way to get a supporter or a potential investor to walk away from you if your pro forma is out of whack. And I hate to tell you this, founders, but we all think our pro forma is a heck of a lot better than it really is going to be, especially thinking about the first couple of years of coming to market. So be conservative with that pro forma. Go to your people who you trust. Make sure that those numbers are right before you go out and solicit that support. Very similar to some of the other earlier comments, be a disruptor. You have a better chance of succeeding in the market if you're changing the model, if you're doing something different. If the status quo is not ready for something like this, but you're going to have an impact in that market, be a disruptor. And if you're a disruptor, I think you're going to have a better chance. And if you're a disruptor, have impact. If you're coming to market, have impact. And whether that's changing the market for the better for quality of care, or changing something in society that you could be extremely proud of that you brought to society, have an impact. And I'll tell you why that's important. Because you're going to work extremely hard bringing this to market. I can't imagine anything more difficult in business than being a founder of a company and trying to convince everybody that you come in contact with that they should use you, that it's the right product, or is that something is going to change if they support you. So get ready for hard work. Get ready to have drive and hope that a little bit of luck comes your way. Work hard, have drive, hope for some luck, and by gosh, have a winning attitude. And at the end of the day, run onto that field and make the status quo cry. I think I'm also supposed to talk about the class that I'm teaching in January. So the class that I'm teaching in January is a class that's going to take place over 4 Saturdays. And the class is the business of healthcare. And what we're going to tackle, I've got 12 industry experts who are coming in talking about specific areas of healthcare, but we're going to talk about the payer landscape, the insurance landscape, the PBMs, which are all over the news today, the regulatory and legal aspect of healthcare. if you take this course, I guarantee you, you will understand the healthcare industry a little bit better, but it will also scare the heck out of you by the time you finish, because it's a very, very complex industry, but one that, again, I believe is extremely important. So, again, thank you for this time. Make them cry.
Thank you, John. Thank you on behalf of the Graziadio School for all that you do for our school. Thank you on behalf of all the entrepreneurs and business owners in this room who are inspired by you today. And thank you in advance on behalf of your students who will be taking your course, which it sounds like it's going to be awesome. All right. So at this point, I would love to recognize some of our gold sponsors for the program today and for our program in general, JP Morgan and Witham. So thank you, JP Morgan, and Managing Director Ron Munman. Ron is a Pepperdine Graziadio alum, and he serves as the Most Fundable Companies Advisory Council President. So thank you, Ron. And thank you also to Witham and partner with Witham, Alan Go, who's making today's program possible. We're excited that Witham is a new MFC Gold sponsor this year. Okay, so before we kick off the MFC list winner presentations, which that's what you are all here for today, I just wanted to walk through some of the technical aspects here of what we're going to be doing. So this year's winners, all 18 of them, are all seeking funding. Now, at various stages, they're all either anywhere from pre-seed up to Series B. So there's, so really all stages of fundraising are represented. So it's easy for you to make contact with them. You can go outside. There's information in the programs for making contact with them if you want to. Also in the programs and on the website, you'll find the 2024 finalists, semifinalists, and winners, and also going back for all 7 years of the competition. Those are all on our website. So basically, I mean, I do want to say something here that so in the 7 years we've done this, we've had 99 winners. 88 of them are still in business. 4 of them have had successful exits, and combined, they've raised about $300 million. Our winners today come from a broad range of industries such as fintech, ag tech, healthcare, industrial automation, advanced materials, and consumer products. Again, all stages of fundraising, but all of them are raising money. We know you're going to like what you see here today. Again, we went from 2,300 participants down to 18 winners. Okay, so let's talk about this. So we're going to have fan favorite awards at the end of the program today. So there's the QR code to log into the app where we're doing this. Again, this is provided to us by our good friends at Startup Steroid. So everyone, whether you're here in the room or you're online, please log in there. You're going to have to sign in with your email, with your name, and then identify in what context you're there. Are you a founder? Are you a service provider, an investor, or other? So once you're in, there's the list of all of the company names that are winners today. So basically, you click the button, take a poll, and that allows you to essentially rate the company. And it's from those ratings that we will determine our fan favorites, which will be announced at the end of the program. So we'll be tallying those at the end. So don't just wait till tomorrow to do it or something. Please do it during the showcase event today. All right, so there's another URL in your programs and on the screen. It's pepperdine.edu/MFC list, MFC-list. So at the end of the presentation, this is where you can find all the list winner profiles, again, from 2018 all the way to today. So as I call up each company will present for 5 minutes. So company founders, please keep it to 5 minutes. We have timers here in the front. which when you reach 1 minute left, they'll show you. When you reach 30 seconds left, they'll show you. Then please end on time because there's 18 of you to get through today. Okay, so let's get started. With the company presentations. There's a clicker right here for you if you need to advance the slides yourselves. Again, keep it to 5 minutes, and we will be starting off with Ag Tech Logic.
And thanks for John's speech. There is, outside of our faith, there's nothing more important to us than our health. Yet we look at the news and all we see is toxic chemicals, issues with health, cancer, you name it, it's out there. Go find your favorite news app, you're gonna find something out there about that. We've decided to do something about it, but you probably don't know that the United States already sprays over 1 billion pounds of chemicals on the ground today just to kill weeds and grow crops. Over 40% of that is wasted. It's oversprayed. We don't need to do it. So AgTech Logic developed Agtelio, an AI-powered technology that helps us to provide the insights to reduce the herbicide use, reduce cost, improve yield, and ultimately help all of our health. So the problem with overspraying chemicals is it's expensive, it's hazardous to the ground. Okay, and the way that we do it today is we literally fill up a big tank full of herbicides and we spray everything. Intelligent precision agriculture allows us to put technology on that type of sprayer, on that equipment, to make it smart, make it intelligent, and that's what we've done. We've actually taken the biggest grower problems out there, such as input cost and labor and disease, irrigation. We found AI technology that we can interpret and actually show savings for that. A typical 19-foot sprayer that sprays in almonds and pistachios can save over $100,000 using our technology. And it goes on from that. We can save in labor, fuel, emissions, you name it. AI helps us to determine what that is. We actually show the ROI and we prove it out. Our technology is easy. It's really different than others because I could take a 20-year-old sprayer, I could put our technology on within a couple of days, and all of a sudden you have a smart sprayer. You have an intelligent piece of equipment. We have 3 patents pending right now. We have 4 other patents on the way. And we can actually show all that data in real time on any device. Our biggest adoption has been E&J Gallo. Anybody like wine? Okay, do you know how much herbicides left in your wine? Probably not, you probably don't wanna know. But E&J Gallo has actually adopted our technology and already seeing over a 40% IRR. That's huge. So they're actually developing and deploying more of our technology this year. We've actually been in talks with several other large growers. We actually got some really good news this morning about deploying even more. We've also deployed at Texas A&M University, one of the largest agriculture universities, and they're using it across multiple crop combinations. We differentiate from our competition in this, and that is Agtelio doesn't have competition right now. It's the only product on the market that you could retrofit, add to an existing piece of equipment, and it actually can track, trace, monitor what you're spraying. We could actually make sure that people that are spraying chemicals are actually being monitored, that they're doing it by label. We also have an open architecture, so we easily integrate with others, and we've got our own AI models that we're developing with multiple universities today. And we have proven ROI. How we make money is pretty easy. We throw Agtelio on a piece of equipment, we start to analyze what's going on, we demonstrate what that ROI could be, then we add solutions on for the grower. We have a SaaS model today. It's really easy for them to get started with us at a really low, affordable price versus some of the competition, which may cost you $1 million or $2 million to get into some of this technology. The market is continuing to grow. We can show you plenty of reports of what we're seeing in precision agriculture across the market. And when you add AI, we're seeing double-digit, really great growth opportunity. Our focus right now is in specialty crops, but our technology works across even municipality, airport, government. The road to change really started back in the 70s with the Clean Air Act. And then we actually forced everybody to put a catalytic converter on, right? And then you had to go do a smog check. Well, there's nothing right now checking to make sure chemical applicators are actually following labels and doing what they need to do. AgTech Logic launched in 2021. By 2024, we actually already helped and recorded a reduction of 850,000 pounds of chemicals not being dumped on the ground. That's 80 tanker cars full of chemicals did not go into our ground, and most of that was in California. So that's a good thing. Our intent is actually to hit a 1 billion pound reduction by the time we hit the end of 2028. Our team has grown. If you looked at this slide 15 months ago, there was 3 of us. And so it has actually exploded out there. We also need help from others. So we've actually joined and been recognized by accelerators, working with universities, legislation to get this out here, and some technology partners have been very, very helpful for us. So thank you. We'd love for you to join us. Check out our social media sites. Join us. Everybody wants to reduce herbicides. Help us do that. Thank you.
Okay, next up is Axio.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Mark Knopfel. I'm the founder and CEO of Axio, where we're building the world's most adaptive learning system. Our company believes that this historical approach to a one-size-fits-all education fails most. The promise of our technology is that we can provide an AI success coach to each and every learner that gets to know them and is able to teach that learner what they need to know, when they need to know it, and in a way that's fully tailored just to them. So what is the actual problem we're trying to solve? Currently today, there's a gap that exists between the things that students are learning and the skills that employers actually need. Families are spending a lot of money on their students' education, and it's not always leading to the career they want. There's only one exception to this, and you guys know? Pepperdine University, right? On the flip side of that, employers are very frustrated that they're having to spend a lot of time and resources upskilling their employees that are coming from academia. So what are we doing about this? The solution we created is a holistic learning platform designed from the ground up with generative AI in mind so that we could facilitate a personalized learning experience at scale. We're designed to seamlessly integrate with the existing learning management systems of both K-12 schools and universities. What we do is we bring in that existing curriculum and we take what used to be static curriculum and content and we deliver it to each and every learner in a way that's fully tailored to them. We do this through a patent-pending technology where Axio, as a daily success coach for the learner, gets to evolve and adapt with that student. As they interact with that AI, it actually gets to know them, their interests, their passions, the problems they're facing, the projects they're working on, and ultimately what they want to do with their life. We're using the same graph technology that has powered some of the greatest technologies of the 21st century, everything from Google and their search engine to LinkedIn and these social media platforms. But we're bringing this technology to education in a way that's never been done before, and we're using this technology specifically to better prepare students for the workforce. And so what Axio does, it helps these students identify their career pathway. Once it identifies that, it creates for them daily action plans that helps make sure they're on track for that success. And by doing that, we're helping close the gap that exists between the learners and the employers. So we launched our product in April. We've had tremendous traction since then. We're working with some of the largest institutions across the globe. And these institutions are coming to us because now is a very uncertain time, right? They know that generative AI is going to change this industry and they don't know how. And they're also worried because enrollments are down across the country and families are questioning that value proposition. They really view us as a technology can strengthen that value proposition. We're deploying this implementation to see how our tool can enhance retention, engagement, and success of students. Please note Pepperdine's not on here yet, but we'll work on that. And we're about, in the spring, we'll have 30,000 students worth of paid adoption, and we're growing each and every day. And so why are universities trusting us? Why are we going to win the market? Well, we actually come from these institutions. So over my career, I used to actually govern the 3 public universities in Arizona. And so during that time on that governing board, I learned very intimately what the problems we're facing in academia. After my time on the board, I actually went and ran my own innovation lab at Arizona State University. So for the last 8 years, I've actually been designing and developing this tool with a team of students. It's a product developed by students, for students, to solve a real problem in higher education. And so that's why people are coming to us. They really believe that we're fast and agile, understand their problem, and can deliver a world-class solution. The market opportunity in higher education alone is massive. Obviously, these numbers are growing due to generative AI. But I think what we're most excited about is that our go-to-market plan has a phased approach that has us eventually scaling into K-12 as well as corporate upskilling. You probably saw we're already in some K-12 schools. Wasn't expected. We're having schools come to us through word-of-mouth referrals. So we're very excited about the global opportunity we have long-term. Our business model is we're selling directly to the universities, right? It's a per student model, and the return on investment there is we're demonstrating that our tool is able to increase their retention rates. There's now cases where we're actually helping universities deploy their own online master's degrees, as well as digital high schools, in which we are actually the full technology driver. We're doing that because we can now save them money at scale in those offerings because we take an AI approach. So we're also opening up additional revenue streams for our partners. By the end of this year, we'll have established over $1 million of ARR since April, and we have strong projections for the future we'd love to talk with you about. We're currently raising $5 million of seed funding. This is really to amplify our early traction. We actually believe this is a market land grab opportunity. We feel like we're the right technology at the right time and really have the unique selling proposition given we come from these institutions. And we believe that if we can get in now with a sales force and sell into those first movers in academia, we will be that long-term generative AI solution for education. Again, my name is Mark Knopfel. Pleasure to speak to you today, and I look forward to continuing the conversation. Thank you.
Okay, next up is Delta Thermal.
Thank you so much. Is that echoing? Is that all right? May I use this space for a second? First of all, thanks to Pepperdine. Thanks to the Singleton Foundation. Thanks to the mentors, judges. Thanks to the students earlier who asked intelligent questions. I was so excited about that. Delta Thermal is an industrial hardware company. We make IoT devices, which creates a lot of data. We're founded by myself and Dr. Andrew Griffiths. I wish he was here today because that is the most highest trust name you could find, Andy Griffiths, right? For those of you who are over 40 years old, you got to trust a guy named Andy. He's really smart. On the other side of that, they sent me to the mining show the last 3 days. It's a global mining convention, 4 million square feet in Las Vegas. Yep. They go, what does your company do? We keep your machines from blowing up. That's pretty simple. Heat is the enemy of most equipment, whether it's an electrical substation, read blackout, whether it is a switch gear or a 7,000 horsepower motor, which would eliminate the production of copper. Our opportunity right now has been in all major industrial infrastructure because it all relies on switch gear. Heat is the enemy. There are 10 million substations in the United States. They used to do it manually, come in with a gun, looks like a baseball speed gun. And that's gone the way of the dodo. That is a Polaroid. We provide the continuous movie. But what we also provide is the data, and that's the secret. And that's what the students recognized immediately. So we started with mining. Our first customer happens to be the largest copper mine in North America. How cool is that? And during the mining show, we just signed up the second one. So pretty good traction going on there. Why is copper so big right now? Because of a thing called AI data centers. You can look it up. Switch is one of the top ones for AI. There's $565 billion of data centers being built in the next 36 to 48 months. Switch is our customer. They're using one of our products. The future shows 4 products in Switch. And it'd be kind of fun. Maybe someday we'll get a second customer. But that's a pretty good first customer. What we do in data centers, if you've ever seen a data server fire, there's no water in data server farms. Why? Water would create the explosion of electricity. So we have to have an early warning alert that says maybe that washer that's starting to vibrate and creating an arc flash, maybe we'll tell you in advance, all you have to do is torque it, and it's done, and you keep moving on. If any of you today used Google, Meta, Amazon, or Microsoft, we might have protected that transaction today, because that's the end customer of Switch. I think that's kind of cool. I've heard of those companies, all right? Data centers, huge market opportunity. We're already in traction. By the way, the person who provides the power distribution units to those companies that I provided is an investor in our company. That kind of creates loyalty sometimes, doesn't it? I like that. Our traction, oh, here, you're going to like this. Speaking of traction. So, mining company. Number 1 and number 2 companies are our clients. Data centers. One of the largest data centers is a client. 2 years ago, ever heard of a thing called East Palestine, Ohio? Nod your head. Anybody? Come on. Train derailment. You don't care. You don't care unless you live in East Palestine, Ohio. 17 of those derailments happen every year from the bearings melting at 2,500 degrees Fahrenheit. The industry solution, you want to talk about a disruptor, the industry solution is putting these boxes every 13.1 miles away, and as the train goes by at 60 miles an hour, every 13 minutes and 6 seconds, they measure the bearings. Evidently, that's not enough. So there was a worldwide call for a solution for an industry that turns 200 years old in 2030. Everybody knows SaaS and recurring revenue. I think 190 whatever years of repairing bearings qualifies as recurring revenue. Yesterday, let's see if I have this up here. This is a mock-up of it. Our sensor just flew on a Norfolk Southern bearing to predict bearing failure. It is a zero-sum game because how do you have the sensor on one car and you don't have it on the next one? Would you agree with that? We're pretty excited about it. Norfolk Southern funded it. We're looking for $1 to $2 million of convertible debt, 8%, 20% coupon. The railroad may not be what's the word? Sexy, but it's been around a long time, and it's going to be around a long time past that, and so are AI data centers. I want to thank you, and we're so excited, as you can tell. Thanks for your time.
Okay, next up, icosis.
Hi, my name is Cindy McReynolds. I'm the CEO of icosis. Thank you for your time and the opportunity for us to tell you how we're bringing new treatments for neuroinflammatory diseases. Icosis is a clinical stage company. We're developing our lead compound, EC5026. We own composition of matter IP for this compound and backups, as well as use patents for our lead indication in treating pain, as well as other neuroinflammatory diseases that will allow us to expand into other market indications. We selected pain as our lead indication because this is a significant unmet medical need. We all know about the opioid epidemic that's plaguing our country, and the other drugs that are available to treat pain have significant side effects as well as limited efficacy. We believe that our approach is going to have a better efficacy and safety profile because we're targeting the body's natural ability to resolve inflammation and maintain health. Inflammation is extremely important for health. It's regulated by an enzyme called the soluble epoxide hydrolase, or SEH for short. These compounds in our body, the epoxy fatty acids, are natural anti-inflammatory compounds that will stop the inflammation process and revert back to a healthy state. These compounds are rapidly degraded by our target enzyme, the SEH, and it takes these beneficial compounds and it converts them into inflammatory molecules that will promote chronic inflammation. Normally, SEH is expressed at relatively low levels in healthy humans. However, as we age, people with obesity, people that have diabetes, and in other chronic diseases, we see significant upregulation and activity of this pathway. Our drugs are targeting the activity of this enzyme to inhibit its activity and allow the body to increase these natural beneficial compounds and return to a normal and healthy state. By focusing on these natural pathways, we predict a more efficacious and safer approach. We have demonstrated efficacy in a wide number of preclinical models, but what really differentiates our company from other companies in this space is that we've also demonstrated efficacy in animals with natural models of disease. Often a liability is being able to translate efficacy results seen in rats into human patients. By demonstrating efficacy in dogs and horses that have osteoarthritis and neuropathic pain, we greatly increase the chances of seeing efficacy in human patients. We have completed phase 1 safety testing in human subjects. We've demonstrated a pharmacokinetics profile that's suitable for once daily oral dosing and a tablet formulation that supports chronic administration. As we predicted, we also have an extremely safe profile of our compound. We've identified no clinically significant adverse events, and we are a non-opioid target. We do not see tolerance. We do not have the cardiovascular or GI side effects that are accompanying NSAIDs. We also don't have CNS liabilities that are accompanying other neuropathic pain drugs that are on the market. Our company is backed by a strong science and business team. Our CSO was the one that discovered our target enzyme, and we also have clinical and business development teams that will support our success in our next stage of development. Now that we've completed our phase 1 studies, we're ready to start testing efficacy in humans in pain, that have pain. We have received fast track approval from the FDA that will help us complete our regulatory milestones through approval. And we are currently planning to initiate a study in testing efficacy in veterans that have pain below the level of their spinal cord injury. This study is funded by the Department of Defense. As a company, we've mostly received funding from non-dilutive grant opportunities. We've received over $23 million in non-dilutive grants to get us to the stage that we are today. And we believe this provides a unique opportunity for early investors to have limited dilution when investing in our company. We are currently in conversations with pharma partners, and we are offering a convertible note agreement to support our milestones in both clinical and business opportunities. In order to accomplish our very rapid milestones, we have a very large value inflection point that we're expecting to achieve within the next year. We're prepared to offer an exclusive discount on this round. Thank you for your time. I look forward to talking to you more about our company.
Next up, Hibiscus Health.
So I just screened myself for diabetes. I was able to pick up my blood pressure, my triglycerides, my cholesterol, and my hemoglobin A1C. How impactful would that be if you could use your smartphone and just a 15-second selfie to detect the most major vitals? How impactful is it to yourself, to your parent, to the caregivers, to rural America? That's what we do. My name is Kavi, and I am the CEO and founder of Hibiscus Health, where we leverage deep tech for early detection of diabetes by leveraging proprietary technology and patent pending technology to pick up facial blood flow to detect these major vitals. My story started all the way as a kid. By the time I was 3, I had 2 open heart surgeries for a hole in my heart. And that really has been the driving force of what I've become and why I do what I do. We fast forward to 2022, I decided to do some other activities, like build a mental health startup that we exited for $54 million. I went to med school at Johns Hopkins, and then I went to my doctor for my first physical in 5 years and found out I was pre-diabetic. And that was pretty alarming for me, given that I had gone to this doctor about 20 times over that 5-year period of time, and it was never brought up that I should have gotten my blood tested. And that is the friction that we see in the space today, and that is the status quo. So the golden standard for screening for diabetes is essentially those between the ages of 40 to 70 who are either overweight or obese. That's 34 million Americans, and only 1/3 get screened. We are in a really bad situation where by 2050, 1/3 of this country is going to be obese, and about 1 in 4 will have type 2 diabetes. And physicians just don't screen for diabetes. It could be the the time it takes. It could be the lack of funding. It could also be the fact that they don't have blood collection in the office. And 96 million Americans, you all, 4 in 5 of you are pre-diabetic and moving towards type 2 diabetes, but you don't know it. And if it's not tested within a 3 to 5 year period, or if it's not treated in a 3 to 5 year period, you will have type 2 diabetes. And that's where we looked, and we did a lot of customer discovery, and we found that the employers are the perfect people for this product. They need we look at low churn self-funded employers who need their employees to show up every single day and to be healthy so that they're not costing the system $20,000 a year for type 2 diabetes. And that's what it is. A person without type 2 diabetes costs about $500 a year to manage. Someone with type 2 is $20,000 a year. Do the math. Now, how we differentiate from the other companies, so you all may know Averta, Vita, Omada, Livongo, and Noom. But the problem with these companies is that you need a diagnosis in order to join. That's the problem, and that's the status quo. In order to get a diagnosis, you need to go to your doctor. You need to schedule an appointment. If you're in rural America, it's impossible. You have to call your physician. Is that 1 minute? Is that what that's? Okay. We've built a comprehensive solution of early detection, comprehensive care, and a user-friendly platform. So once we detect your risk, we then have a team of registered dietitians that will come in and will provide care for you. Using facial blood flow, which is patent pending, we can detect blood pressure, cholesterol, triglycerides, A1C, and then we have a suite of solutions. We have 6 pilot programs that we're launching with $500,000 in ARR. We're currently, I think this is super important, we are a Johnson & Johnson portfolio company, a startup health company. AARP just invested in us this morning, and we're currently generating about $200,000 in ARR. We have a wonderful team, and I would love for you guys to speak with us after. This is game-changing. This is something we all need. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you and congratulations to Team Hibiscus Health. I hope everyone's enjoying the presentation so far. Yes? Hi, everybody. I'm Amy Wood. I'm the program manager of the Most Fundable Companies program, and I am so happy and pleased to see so many friends here today. Thank you. And speaking of friends, I have the distinct honor of introducing our title sponsor, who is going to share a few minutes with us to talk about their organization. That special guest and good friend is Shelley Miles. I had to bring some notes up here with me because Shelley's resume is so impressive, but I'll give you a little bit of background of her. Shelley spent her career leading the growth and development of entertainment and technology businesses, including at the Walt Disney Company, where she started the interactive game business and managed the recorded music and music publishing businesses. For the last 7 years, she's aptly served at the helm of the Singleton Foundation for Financial Literacy and Entrepreneurship as CEO. She was a founder of the Pasadena Ronald McDonald House and has served on the boards of nonprofits such as the National Children's Chorus and Ronald McDonald House, Southern California. During her career, her projects have earned over 20 gold, platinum, and multi-platinum record industry awards, 28 game industry awards, 16 toy industry awards, and 2 major social impact awards. Shelley is a USC alumna, but that's okay. And she's a California CPA. We're delighted and deeply grateful to have her with us today, front and center, representing the Singleton Foundation, now in its 4th year as our title sponsor. Welcome, Shelley.
Hello, I'm so happy to be here and so thrilled to see all these wonderful presentations. I love this competition, And I love it because it's not just about the pitch, but you guys are actually doing it, and seeing your great accomplishments and how you've grown your businesses is so impressive. So this is the moment when Amy said, and now a word from our sponsor. So one of the challenges, the Singleton Foundation is all about entrepreneurship and financial literacy. And where's the little clicker? Here it is, so we can get started. And so our idea is to bring these things to you and to make them fun and accessible, because we all know that we learn the best when we're doing something that we find enjoyable. And as you are growing your businesses, one of the challenges you're going to have is you're going to have employees. And how do you help your employees on the journey with you so that they're productive, they're excited, they're innovative? And we offer a lot of programs to help you do that. So it turns out that our employees with good financial health are a lot more productive than employees that are struggling with finances. Financial problems are a big cause of divorce and other really nasty things. And it's also a place where employees lose a lot of productivity when they're having problems. And how much is that? Well, 10% of workers reported taking time off due to financial problems, with an average of 5 days lost per worker in a year. They lose about 7 hours of productivity every week because of financial stress, and 3 in 4 employees spend more than 9 hours a week dealing with financial issues. And 46% of stressed employees say their financial worries impact the quality of their work. And it also has an impact on their mental and physical health. So one survey found that 77% of employees said that financial stress was impacting their mental health, and 52% said it was impacting their physical well-being, leading to things like high blood pressure and all kinds of other problems. And that is why, so we have a suite of programs that help with a lot of these things, and that is why we created one of our programs, which is called Groove. So Groove is our patent-pending financial wellness app that we make available for people. And it recognizes that we all have an emotional relationship with money, and it gets into the emotional relationship. We start out with your money personality, which is a marketing way to say, hey, we really care about who you are and what have been your experiences been, and then we tailor programs just for you. So it's really an easy and fun way to get into getting your finances right that's tailored to your personal well-being. We also have, in fact, we just did a study with another university in Oregon, and we found that people that were using Groove, 70% of them started building healthy financial habits, and the majority of them significantly increased their savings. So it had a big impact. We also have Million Stories. Oops, I can't run slides. We also have Million Stories, and Million Stories is our award-winning short-form video. Feels like entertainment. It teaches you things, it inspires you things. We have things that help you learn about finances. We also have things that are the stories of entrepreneurs and what they've learned on their journeys that are well beyond what they learned in business school or maybe even in their own businesses. We also have Venture Valley, and this is all about having fun. Venture Valley is a competitive, fast-paced business game where you try to out-business your friends. It's all about making financial decisions designed by world-class game designers with all the learning underneath. And you see the results of the decisions you made and market forces on your business. It's really fun. We're running a competition in Boston this next month between a number of college students to see who can be the best. And we also have the program I wanted to talk about today, and I want to introduce. So we're all about supporting entrepreneurs and how do you build your business and get started. And that's what we call Slingshot. So how do you get launched like with a Slingshot? And this is, you're going to get a sneak peek from Slingshot AI which is our newest program, and it's truly revolutionary. It helps you get your business up and running fast with the help of personalized AI guidance and all the data you could ever hope to have. And here to speak about it today, we have two fabulous Pepperdine family members, Ryan Groves and Landon Phillips, who are going to come talk about this. Ryan heads up entrepreneurship for the Singleton Foundation, and Landon heads up innovation. And I know that people at Pepperdine miss them, and we were very happy to have them come to the foundation. But what they're going to see is true. What they're going to show you is really exciting and game-changing for all new businesses. So now I give you Ryan and Landon.
Thank you. Hey, hi. We're the last thing before the break. This is going to be fast, furious, fun. It will take engagement and creativity. Everybody here likes entrepreneurship, right? Maybe? Woo-hoo. Woo! Yay! Okay, cool. Fun fact, you're not alone. Every year in the U.S., there's about 5 million businesses started. We spend about $200 billion annually on it. It's a big deal. Beyond that, if you were to ask somebody in the workforce, ages 25 to 50-ish, if they have an idea for a dream business, 62% of them would say yes. 41% say they would leave their jobs in 6 months if they thought they could pull it off. Less than 2% actually do. That's a problem. Beyond that, if you were to look at entrepreneurship, as popular as it is, as cool as it is, actual entrepreneurship in the United States, entrepreneurship rates in the United States have declined by more than 50% in the last 30, 40 years. We have a problem. We have an issue, and that's a really big problem because everybody here likes entrepreneurship, right? Woo! Okay, great. So that's bad, and that's not just bad for investors who want to make money or for entrepreneurs who want to solve a problem, bring something for the world. Entrepreneurship is, yes, it's how we solve problems. Yes, it's how we make the world that we want. But 100% of net job growth also comes from companies that are less than 5 years old. 100%. And then not only that, but better jobs. In fact, somebody who even attempts to start a business and fails is still expected to have a 10% higher net income compared to somebody who never even achieved it, because there is a game that is being played. There's a game that's being played, and it's a better game when we all play together. It's a participation sport. What are we going to do with our lives? What are we going to do with the world? How do we get everybody playing the game? Because it's not just one idea versus another. This isn't a competition. That's why we love MFC. This is about how do we all win together. The people with investment, the people with ideas, those of us in the community, how do we all build this world together? That's our goal, right? The vast majority of activity in a free market society is not competition but cooperation, said Sir John Marks Templeton in a 1920 graduation speech at Yale. So yes, somebody remembered a graduation speech at one point. So Landon and I are here today because we believe in that. We believe in that entrepreneurship is for everybody. The world's a better place when everybody does this. The question remains, how do we make that happen? And so this is why we've built Slingshot. Slingshot is a really fun toy that allows anyone to be able to create, build, and share an idea for a business and launch that out. And so in that spirit of all of us here being entrepreneurial and this being a participation sport, who's got an idea? Landon, you want to take it away? Cool.
Yeah, as Ryan said, oh, thank you. Please hold your applause until I can embarrass myself. As Ryan said, there's a game being played, right? And so the best way to be involved in that is to actually try and play. So if you've spoken to me at all today, I'm going to walk around the room here a little bit. If you've spoken to me at all today, you may have heard me secretly, clandestinely mine your brains for some information. And I would talk to people, and I'd say, this is actually a really great icebreaker, so feel free to steal this idea. But the next time you're at one of these events, talk to people and say, what is your dream business? If you had a complete blue sky opportunity, you can do anything you want. You get $20 million tomorrow. What would you pursue? You don't have to use the whole 61% statistic. We can leave that later. But if you say that, you'll notice immediately people's eyes kind of glaze over as if they're looking at a fond memory. They say, well, when I'm in a long meeting, I would say, I want to do X, Y, and Z. So I want to do that right now with you today. Let's think of an idea together and see if we can run it through Slingshot. So to match Ryan's energy and speed, let's hear some good, random, blue sky thinking ideas. Anybody got one? Yes, in the back, a brave man. Energy drink company. Excellent. Okay. Anybody want to pass the ball to elaborate on top of that?
Or other ideas. Come on, folks. Whole room of entrepreneurs.
Oh, okay.
Wheatgrass energy.
Now that's starting to sound a little familiar. Okay.
Hey, Danielle, idea. Non-stick sunscreen. Ooh, we are in Malibu. How topical. What else? What else we got?
Get it?
Sir, as a Kansas farm boy, I know your constituency. Okay.
So we got an Amish dating site. Appreciate the challenge there. We have wheatgrass energy, energy drink. Anything else? Child brain development app. Okay, that sounds complex. Let's try that.
What makes it special? What's special about your child brain development app?
It focuses on different parts of the brain. Example for your creative side, or your logical
Okay.
side. Then fine-tunes it so you're stronger in those areas.
Okay. How does it focus? Is it a game? Is it a mind reader? Is it?
It's through a game.
Okay. All right. Great. Gotcha. Cool.
Okay.
Let's try that out.
Nothing like a live demo to get the blood flowing in the morning,
Yeah.
right? So this is where Slingshot starts listening. The idea is that we wanted to build an AI component that never felt like it was wrestling the reins away from you. You're always in the driver's seat. All Slingshot does is say yes and. It's a good improv partner, right? So it's like, great, child development, I love it. Yes, and what if you said it this way? So no matter how, stream of consciousness, caveman, unga bunga language you use, it dresses up the language a little bit. So, okay, unlock your child's limitless potential. It's very complimentary. With our groundbreaking app designed to nurture brain development through engaging games, you get the idea. Okay, that sounds great. So then, after that, you can go through and start picking out some imagery for your site. Ooh, these look very imaginative and colorful. Let's go with this one. Then it starts saying, okay, yes, and here's a couple of other features. Maybe based on what you've described, I can get you started, or I can even throw out a couple of other suggestions you haven't even considered yet. We got some gamified learning elements here, designed specifically to stimulate different regions of the brain. Personalized training plans, customized to each individual need, or progress tracking and insights. So these are all elements, features of the idea that you could be considering. Of course, you can edit, you can drag and drop to reprioritize these, but every single input you give is slowly training your specific model of Slingshot to better understand your idea as it is up here in your mind. So say, all right, this is great. Let's start coming up with some names. Some people maybe already have one in their back pocket. Do you have an idea for this child development app, sir?
OSK.
OSA?
OSK.
OSK.
Okay, cool.
All right, so that's option A. Audience poll. We also have cognitive cortex, neuropeak, mind bender, zenith brain, or brainy buddies. Let's go with Brainy Buddies. It's a little more friendly, okay? Brainy Buddies, it's child development. We're all friends here. We're buddies. So then it helps you design a logo. So again, every single milestone, it's getting through the process saying you don't have to have a creative designer. You don't have to be a web app guru. We're going to get you through some of that legwork right now just to give you momentum. We want you to capitalize on your excitement as you're first putting your toe into the deep waters of your entrepreneurial journey, right? So it gives you some different choices for logos that you can select based on theme. You say, I'm going for more kind of fun or lighthearted one. I want to do a friendly one that's very child-friendly. Let's go with this one here. Continue building the site. Then you go through each of these different sections that help you understand each element a little bit more in depth. The idea is that everybody that starts this isn't necessarily an MBA level of entrepreneur, even though I'm probably preaching to a crowd right now. We want anybody to be able to do this. So a lot of the questions are meant to designed to feel like you're talking to a very business-savvy friend in a coffee shop. That's like, listen, I got this idea, right? Brainy buddies, hear me out. Children, brain development, gamification, are you with me? Okay. And then they can help offer some suggestions to yes and your idea and make it even better. So let's say we're going to target this very specifically here in the great state of California, just to get us started here. And we're going to say, we'll target adults, because this will be for people who are having children. We'll go for both men and women here. And we'll go for just a medium income level. Doesn't really matter right now. Then, here's a fun part where we start crunching some numbers for you. A lot of entrepreneurship is you constantly switching hats and you're having to research different things, right? You have to be an expert on market data. You have to be an expert on your demographic. You have to be an expert on your product itself. And doing all of that is exhausting and hard. So if I'm going to delegate any of that for robots to take care of for me, I want to do the research part. I say, you go fetch me some data that's verifiable. It's not just LLM hallucinations. This is not just ChatGPT in a wrapper. This is some homebrew, artisanal grade LLM AI-generated tech here. Thank you very much. So right now, what it's doing is actually going and researching the Bureau of Economic Analysis, government database that gives us some good, verifiable, real data to help us create a TAM-SAM song. We notice those acronyms got thrown up on the screen a couple times earlier today. We can go into that. But again, most people never know what that acronym stands for. You don't need to know if we can run some of those numbers for you and give it to you in a very easy to understand way. So it's like you start small with a nice, big, attractive billion-dollar number, and then we can winnow it down a little bit and say, all right, your service obtainable is in the neighborhood of 15 million. So I won't go through. I'm a proud papa of this thing. I want to go through the whole thing and show you exactly how excited I am at every step of the way. I will save you the option of doing that if you want to come meet us in the booth, and we can make an idea for you later on. But as I said earlier, as I was oddly walking around the room, we had actually spoken to someone earlier about one of their ideas to see if we could kind of go through the process here.
Yeah, and you could even bring up that site real quick. So real quick, so why are we doing this? Again, why don't people start? So the failure rates in entrepreneurship are actually not, you might hear the numbers thrown around like, okay, X number of businesses make it to year 1, year 2. It's actually the first 90 days. So Stanford and Kauffman both have said, why don't people succeed? And it's the amount of data, it's the amount of knowledge, the amount of hat switching they have to do in the first 90 days where they never even begin. So if we can help knock out those first 90 days in about 9 minutes, that can change things. What we want to do is, do for entrepreneurship what the iPhone did for photography. Photography used to be the realm of a few nerds hanging out in a dark room. You had to understand chemistry, physics, math, all sorts of stuff. No offense to the photographers in the room. Thank you very much. But then the iPhone made photography the zeitgeist for everyone. Even if you're not a content creator, we live in that world. How do we do the same thing with entrepreneurship? So can we take that complexity but put that creative power in people's hands? We're not removing their creativity. A tool takes away a job. An instrument can create one. That's what we're after. We've all heard that AI can kill jobs. Great. What if AI actually becomes the greatest job opportunity and wealth creation engine opportunity we've had in decades? That's what we're after. So to skip this whole process of how Slingshot would then take you through everything from like, yes, your idea, your product, your value, the money, the strategy. It'll walk you through all that. We actually did that with somebody just earlier. Sarah, are you in here? Sarah, hey, hi. Do you mind if we brag on you? Okay, Sarah, we asked you your idea for a dream business earlier. Would you be okay sharing it? Just like real quick.
Salt than a regular person does, and I have to have 100 ounces of water. So that would be like what would be in the Dexcom, similar.
Yeah. Yes. So a medtech device to help you manage that condition, similar to what diabetics have in the market today. So Slingshot was able to come up with Zenith Relief. And this is also a great curveball to use because maybe I'm ignorant. I was not familiar with POTS as a syndrome. But even with a very specific medical diagnosis, it was able to pull up market research, suggest customers, and help point you in directions of these are competitors you need to look out for, and provide a very in-depth analysis of how to get things started. So it goes through with your value prop here at the beginning. It even generates some customers, again, without us ever even having to tell it to. It comes up with different features. You can expand each of these features. This, by the way, is a website that it has created automatically for you for this website, for your idea that you can then publicly share with anybody. You can pitch from it. You can use it however you like. It's got nice little horizontal elements as well, talking about your demographic information. There's that gorgeous TAM-SAM song. All right. If anybody's interested in getting a slice of this $116 million, go ahead and make all payable checks out to Sarah. Talk to her after this. I think you have some good ideas here. But most impressively, not only did it start recommending actual different alternative sources of revenue that I didn't even suggest, it was able to create a competitive analysis report.
So if I may, like, here's really what's going on underneath the hood. It's like, yes, we can take your idea, we can make it real, we can flush you out, we can give you a light plan, we can give you a website, we can help you raise funds, get you started. But here's the data we're able to grab. So right now, what you're looking at is a 40-something long page, market analysis and business plan. It would have been a great way for me to skip all my homework here at Pepperdine University. Every single data point on here is citable. So it's connected to real information, it's sourceable, and it's going to walk you through, like, what's the industry, what are the trends, what's the data you need to know. Sarah, we actually already went through it, and it was lining through, all right, here's different competitors, here's the life cycles, here's how the industry's going, here's how you should finance your company, here's how it could grow, here's how much is out there, here's the teams you'd need, here's the partners you should talk to, here's all those things. And so this is the amount of depth of data we're able to get in about 2 to 3 minutes to support somebody's new ideas, whether they're creating a very, very specific medical device company or they want to be a dog walker in Santa Monica. But we can put that same amount of creative power and infrastructure behind every single business to, yes, support that unique entrepreneur, but then to also connect them to the right people, resources, and even funding they would need to make that company real. So again, our whole goal is how do we make a more entrepreneurial world? How do we put something in people's hands, just like the iPhone, that makes this simple, accessible, and creative for everybody? Because I think it's going to be a better world, a stronger world, and just a really awesome economy to play around in. So come to the booth. We can build you a company. It's going to be a lot of fun. And this goes live in a week. So we're going to market too. So we'll see you out there. Thanks, folks.
Yep.
Okay.
Thank you, Team Slingshot. Slingshot is cool. Thank you, Shelley, Ryan, and Landon, and the Singleton Foundation team for your mission of ensuring advancing economic power for everyone. Now, everybody, we get to take a break. Please meet the companies outside, meet the presenting winners of the most fundable companies. We've got the Slingshot team out there. Witham has a booth. They're happy to talk to you. We will reconvene back here in this room at 2:20. I'll say it again, 2:20 is when we're going to pick up again. All right, thanks, everybody.
He's in every sort of event, and all the things put in all the events. Then I can.
Okay, if everybody could filter back in and take your seats, that would be fantastic. Okay, so welcome back. While everyone's getting seated, I'd like to take a moment to thank our silver sponsors. CFO Plans, led by Graziadio alum Gary Hawamadoma. Thank you, Gary, for your third year of sponsorship. Also, thank you to the Palmer Center for Entrepreneurship and the Law at the law school here at Pepperdine, the Pepperdine Caruso Law School, and the Executive Director, David Feingold, also a 3-year sponsor. And Start Engine, the funding platform that has hosted multiple successful campaigns for MFC list winners. So let's please give our silver sponsors a round of applause. Okay, I'd also like to thank our resource partner sponsors. Most of this group have supported us for 5+ years, and they are Flying Point Industries, Angora Aurora, Net Capital, and our alumnus friend Eric Hawks of Net Capital, Scherzer International, SoCal IP Law Group with another alumnus friend, Jonathan Pierce, and Stubbs, Alterton, and Markels, led by Scott Alderton, Pepperdine parent, Graziadio Entrepreneurship Senior Fellow, and MFC Advisory Council member. And new to the list this year, Susan Petrella. So thank you for all your ongoing support. Okay, one thing I'd like to remind you to do, because one thing I will be doing is I'll be promoting and posting for on behalf of all these companies through my social media. So there's 2 two X accounts that you need to follow. One is Graziadio School, so it's at Graziadio School on X, and the other is mine, Dr. Craig Everett, Dr. Craig Everett. So please follow those, because that's where I'll be putting out information on these companies and such. X is generally where the investors are and such. So so please follow those two accounts, and anything that's Most Fundable Companies related, please repost, please like, and comment and what have you. So that would be greatly appreciated, because we want to promote these companies, these winners. They're fantastic companies, as much as we possibly can. So thank you for doing that. Okay, so next up, please welcome to the stage to tell us about his firm's technology and emerging growth practice, Alan Go, partner and head of West Coast Tech at Witham.
For those of you who don't know, Witham is a top 25 national accounting firm. But since we're at Pepperdine, I thought that something special we would do is I would give you a detailed accounting lecture about ASC 606. No, just kidding, just kidding. That would definitely make you cry. Every single one of you would cry as a result. So let's begin. So I thought that we would talk about something much, much more interesting than ASC 606. Let's talk about doing a deal. Folks, who wants to do a deal? Anyone? Yeah, let's do a deal. All right, so we'll start in strategy. I assume y'all have a strategy like an investment thesis and things like that. So we don't need to talk about that. But if you don't have one, we can help you with one. So, kind of just moving around the wheel, the next part of the process is sourcing. I need to find a deal. Is there a deal out there to be had? So, as part of the deal sourcing, if you have deals that you want to look at, that's cool. If you want us to help you, look for deals. We have an investment banking unit, or we can help work with your investment bankers in finding a deal, looking at deals. And then, moving on to the next, and, I think the most funnest part about things is execution. Let's make this deal happen. I think I heard earlier about pro formas, right? About sending out pro formas. I will say from a lot of experience, there's nothing more detrimental to a deal than bad pro formas. If you provide your potential investors with bad financial information, your deal is not going so well. So make sure that you have some accountants involved when you're putting together some financial information, especially if you're going to provide it to investors and people that are going to give you money. You got to make sure that your financials tell a good story about how you're going to make more money for your investors. So there's all kinds of other interesting things in execution, right? Like tax structuring. Okay, well, I think I'm going to do business other than California. I'm going to do business in other states. I'm going to do business internationally. Well, I think if I'm going to do that, I need a global tax strategy. I need to figure out, what am I going to do with transfer pricing? What am I going to do with certain jurisdictions? And certain jurisdictions act differently than others. So being able to find, a good solution to all those types of issues is something that we can help you with. Moving on through the chain, integration. Oh man, our systems just don't work. Are you serious? We spent all this money, did all this work to acquire a company, and our systems just don't talk to each other. All right, well, we need to figure that out. We need to figure out how to integrate and to make everything work out. And then, something that's very near and dear to my heart. I'm an accountant. So all the accounting nerd stuff like purchase price allocation and that bad thing, that working capital adjustment. We definitely don't want any working capital adjustments as part of our deal. So that's part of the integration. Value creation. We are CPAs. We are accountants. But we believe 1 + 1 = 3. What? Daddy, your math is really, really bad. Really, really bad. But that's kind of the point, right? If you're going to do a deal and you're just going to add 1 + 1 and get 2, what's the point? What was the point of doing that deal, right? You just could have had 2 separate companies and you could have had 2. Anyway, the whole point of doing a deal is 1 + 1 = 3. Let's create something with the 2 parts that we've done. So a part of that is performance improvement. How do we make these 2 companies sing together? How do we make them work together? How do we make our systems talk to each other? Well, in order to make this all work, they got to talk to each other. How do we improve our supply chain? How do we improve our taxes, right? So one important note to think about is it's always tax deferral. It's never tax evasion. Never, never. Tax deferral. Remember that. Realization. This is when you get paid. Yeah, let's get paid. So making sure that you're ready to sell. Am I ready to sell? Do I have all my ducks in a row? Do I have all my documents ready to go? Do I have all my structuring ready? If I'm going to sell, maybe I'll make some money. So I got to make sure that all of my personal wealth management issues are kind of taken care of in preparation for the sale. So there's a lot of things that happen when you get paid. That's an awesome thing, but you got to make sure that you plan for that occasion. And then going back to strategy, you know what? Rinse and repeat. Let's do another deal, right? I thought one of the biggest things that that the firm could do for all the people in this room is this is the M&A cycle. This is the life cycle of a deal. We can really help you with all components of this deal, of this life cycle. So come visit us outside. Come say hello, and come reach out to us. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Ellen, and thanks to the entire team at Witham for their gold sponsorship this year. So let's switch gears back to the presentations. And as a reminder, if you haven't started rating the presentations yet, please do. Please go out there. The QR code is in the program. Because your voting is how we're going to decide on the fan favorites for today's showcase. Okay, so moving on back to the company presentations, please welcome Chemo Therapeutics.
My name is Valley Barson, and I'm here to present Chemo Therapeutics. Chemo means to persevere in Kikuyu, caregiver in Hawaiian, and integrity in Japanese. The way that we traditionally think about code is in zeros and ones, and I guess my generation wasn't comfortable with that, so they came up with tokens. But the way that we've come up with code in the code of life is through DNA, and those are through the 4 base pairs, adenine, thymine, guanine, and cytosine. And we can read this code quite in high throughput in the advent of next generation sequencing, and a company that championed that down in San Diego, Illumina, has done that in a very high throughput, repeatable way, such that we can find errors in the code that you see here in red very easily and diagnose root cause for genetic diseases readily. Traditionally, we treat therapeutics based on their function at the protein level. And when we look at the mechanism with which DNA makes RNA makes protein, the ability to address diseases at their fundamental root cause is the basis for Chemo Therapeutics. We've put together a world-class team in the form of Dr. Matt Porteous, who is the chair of curative medicine at Stanford University and has been studying the space for well over 25 years, who is also co-founder of CRISPR Therapeutics that achieved the first FDA approval in the form of exocell for sickle cell therapy. And as well in our advisory board and investor board comprised of Cormorant and Khosla Ventures, who as well have seen the promise of this potential that I'll share with you today in the form of updated clinical data. I'll note as well that one of our investors was a founder and CEO of Intellia Therapeutics that was the first company to demonstrate the ability to apply this code correcting system in human patients in vivo in the cell. Our first indication is based on identifying that error in the genetic code and correcting and therefore curing the underlying mechanism that causes sickle cell disease. We currently have an open IND with the FDA, having already completed a phase 1 trial and now looking at efficacy. And we're addressing a large and unmet medical need, as significant as yesterday with Pfizer pulling Oxbryta off and no longer being offered for sickle cell disease, resulting in a $5 billion write-off. We have proof of concept in our first patient that I'll share with you shortly, and we have blockbuster drug potential if successful. When we look at the TAM and SAM, the calculations in any triangulated way result in a massive market. I won't spend time on that today given the allocation we have, but I'll speak to our competitive advantage against the 2 FDA approval of exocell and Lovocell, who have first mover barriers because of outdated manufacturing processes and and the challenge with payer networks and arriving to these corrective and curative cell therapies that exist still to this day. And I'm pleased to share with you 2 years outcomes data on the first patient that was treated at Stanford who received this therapy. I haven't used her photo, and she has sustained outcomes. And what we've seen from her is that she has a living therapy that's profoundly cured the underlying cause of her disease. She does not exhibit any more veno-occlusive crises or veno-occlusive episodes. And unlike the competition, whose sickled percentage of hemoglobin remains in the 60 or 50% range, hers at the 2-year mark remains less than 10%. And that is the first in man and first true correction of the disease that this world knows. So she has no residual sickle cell disease, no signs of hemolysis, meaning disruption of the red blood cells, and no pain crises, which is very profound for this patient population. But we've learned a lot from patient one, and we can do better. And that's why Kamau is focused on both clinical learnings and learnings in manufacturing that we are integrating to offer an even more potent and advanced cell therapy in the next embodiment of our manufacturing processes. And this is where I, in Matt's lab, have worked on a series of things you can see in the table that result in a more potent and more active drug substance. We have addressed a series of inflection points with manufacturing, regulatory, clinical, and funding, and are planning to dose our next patient in the next quarter or two. And our lead program of Nulacel is, again, FDA enabled to start dosing patients with the platform potential. This couldn't have happened without a very large team that we've put together that's nimble and combines their skill sets to enable this to come to patients. And the opportunity in investing in Kamau would be to invest in a purpose-built team at the right timing for the market and its indication for a curative potential based on a technology that's positioned with clinical data at 2 years to cure patients with sickle cell disease. Thank you.
Next up, Living Maca. Where's the clicker?
I'm Russ Hershon, and I want to introduce you to founder Brian Hill.
Thank you, Russell, and thank you, Pepperdine, for having us today. I'm Brian Hill, founder and creator, and with Russell, we are presenting Maca, the energy you want with the nutritional benefits that you need. This started for me several years ago when I woke up one day and I was just like, I really need to take control of my health. That's when I decided to activate my healthy lifestyle by competing in triathlons. That introduced me to wheatgrass juice. Wheatgrass is nutritionally complete, loaded with vitamins and minerals and chlorophyll. It's everything that I needed to support my training diet. The problem is there's many challenges consuming this ingredient. The first is it's inconvenient and it's time intensive if you're growing and harvesting and juicing like I was at home. And then it can be a little too expensive going to a juice bar with 1 ounce shot costing $4. I was consuming 8 ounces a day, not necessarily reasonable. So beyond solving those issues, I wanted to tackle a bigger problem. And that is that many energy drinks are simply just bad for you. That's because they're using artificial ingredients, they're high calorie, high sugar, or using sugar alternatives. Many of them are overly caffeinated. Not only that, they can be an unpleasant aftertaste because of those artificial sugars. So the opportunity here is to address the $22 billion energy drink market by creating a truly better for you beverage. And that means plant-based ingredients, low in calories, low in sugar, no sugar alternatives, caffeine from natural sources like yerba mate and guayusa. And in our case, we wanted to make sure that it was absolutely delicious and refreshing as well as organic. So enter Maca. This is a great solution. It's organic certified, non-GMO, naturally gluten-free, and it solves energy, focus, immune support, antioxidant nutrients from plant-based ingredients that we have, and it's incredibly tasty, all packaged in one can. So not only did we want to be a better beverage, we wanted to be a better business, and that means we came together as a public benefit corporation with our legal structure. We work on sustainability causes. We are a cause-driven company. And then with our beverage, we wanted to support health through plants, organic always ingredients. And now we're using regenerative organic, and we're really pushing to get certified over the next year or so. Not only that, we're working on better outcomes, activating healthy, whatever that is for you. But when you eat better, you feel better. So our mission of Wheatgrass for All is all encompassing of that. We're an award-winning, innovative brand. Last year, we won Best New Beverage of the Year at Expo West, largest natural food expo in the world. Super excited about that. And that's because we have a great product and a great market size and opportunity here. The energy category is a $22 billion category in the US. Within that, it's about a $7 billion category for those seeking out organic energy. And Maca is striving to hit 100 million in sales by 2030. With that, I'm introducing you again to Russell.
So we're looking for people that want to transition to a healthier lifestyle. There's no shortage of energy beverages, but ours is a wheatgrass beverage that is gluten-free, vegan. Individuals that look at the ingredients will see that they're healthier for you. They might just find when tasting it, it's their new favorite beverage. And when it becomes their new favorite beverage, they share it organically. So we're in 1,000 stores across 45 states, including from Hawaii to Maine. And we're distributed by the two largest natural distribution chains, KeHE and UNFI. And we're heavy in Southern California, Erewhon, Sprouts, Bristol Farms. So if you're thirsty, stop in and grab one. We have solid growth in the stores, but we're looking to D2C to grow food service, colleges, new lines, new features, and new formats. So just imagine wheatgrass, we want to own it, and we want to share it, Wheatgrass for All. Brian Hill, you just heard from him, founder. He thought of this, made it in his kitchen, shared it with me. We're now on a beverage adventure. But besides the two of us, we have Danny, who's founded Naked Juice, decades of CPG experience. He's our advisor. And then we have people that support us, such as Paige Nielsen, who I ran into sampling. And she is now a shareholder and ambassador. She plays for Houston Dash. And then Redfu, who I met serendipitously as well. He's a vegan, he's a musician, he's an investor, as well as an advocate for Maca, and we're grateful to have him. So we're raising $750,000, and we'll use that specifically for D2C efforts, in-store activations, and getting our beverage in the hands of more people. And if you come out front, it'll just be an extension of what we do. But we want to do it more on a national level and deeper. Thank you for having me today. I appreciate your time, and we're grateful to be at Pepperdine.
Okay, next up, Magic Box.
LED studio technology has made big budget movie, TV, and commercial productions faster, cheaper, and safer. But until now, it has been way too expensive, complex, and remote to be accessible to the rest of the market. Magic Box is a patented semi-trailer system that transforms into a fully functioning LED studio in as fast as 30 minutes, and it represents the future of this technology. Magic Box can be delivered anywhere, from a soundstage in Hollywood to a parking lot in Pittsburgh, even to the street in front of your house. Our mobility, convenience, and speed combine to make Magic Box as much as 100 times faster, easier to utilize, and less expensive than the leading competition like VU Studios, Fuse Technical Group, and even ILM. To be successful, Magic Box is building a network of mobile LED studios, developing custom software tools, and integrating AI and content solutions to enable any production, anywhere, the ability to utilize these technologies simply by being a subscriber to our user network. And that's really what we're all about, democratizing these technologies so anyone from social media influencers to college sports teams to movie and TV producers can take advantage of all the benefits it has to offer. It's time to think inside the box. It's time for Magic Box.
Hi, my name's Brian Nowak, and I'm the founder and CEO of Magic Box, and I play with trucks and transformers for a living. How many people here haven't dreamed of being in the movie or TV business at least once in their life? A fleeting fantasy for most, but not for the 450,000 people that work in this $200 billion market in the US. Now, the technology in the video you just saw is what's driving production in Hollywood right now. Magic Box is at the forefront of that technology revolution. We have patented hardware technology at our platform. We're driving our own custom software, and we're developing a content library as a collective unit of our full IP. Our unique, patented mobile solution creates speed, efficiency, and consistency that translates into cost savings and convenience for our customers. And our competitors simply cannot compete with the way we do it. Early on, we spent about a year working with industry professionals and customers on developing our product to attain optimal product market fit. And the effort paid off because we went to market last year with the world's first mobile virtual production studio. This product has gone into market and is now generating revenue with our top three customer segments in motion picture industry, experiential marketing, and events. In addition to that, we're adding a layer of vertically integrated services on top of our product, which are helping us increase our revenue and widen the gap between our product offering and that of our competitors. In addition to that, it's setting us up for our next phase of growth when we go to scale. Our scale situation we're heading into next year includes a release of a new product that costs about a third of our existing product, so it's our lowest cost product solution. It's going to introduce a new subscription-based business model and will allow us to scale across the country into every major US city and generate a customer base based on subscriptions, generating monthly recurring revenue. We have a team on our team of employees and advisors that consists of industry professionals and experts in the business. And we've raised over $2 million to date, coming from founder investments, angel investors, and of course, friends and family, and also our strategic partners. Today, we're kicking off our final sprint in our seed round, raising $750,000 that we want to close by the end of the year before we start focusing on our Series A round next year, which will take us into scale. It's time for you to make your dreams come true. It's time to think inside the box. It's time to invest in Magic Box. Thank you.
Okay, next up, Notice Ninja.
Have you ever had an arrest warrant issued for your CEO? It's a dirty secret, but it's happening. My name's Amanda Reinecke, and I'm the CEO and co-founder of Notice Ninja. We are a CRM for compliance, and we are disrupting and innovating how companies manage and resolve tax and compliance notices from government agencies. And we're doing this in 170 countries with the use of AI, machine learning, and our proprietary optical character recognition technology. Think Salesforce for tax and compliance professionals. The problem is there's an ever-increasing number of regulatory agencies that are sending notices to companies. I have one client that got 80,000 notices last month. This is a problem. One missed notice, and you have fines that are accruing, and I've seen up to $500 million for just one company in my system. Our market size, we are in the enterprise governance, risk, and compliance space that has an estimated TAM of $134.8 billion by 2030, with software being a leading driver in this space, poising Notice Ninja for scaling success. So how does it work? Well, with our OCR engine, we are scanning PDF files for key data fields, which allow us to classify notice data into a best practice workflow where we then distribute the tasks and we track the life cycle of the notice. We are competing against Excel spreadsheets, so this is visibility that no one has ever had before. At the core of our system is AI and machine learning. Our algorithms and our data models are growing every day, creating a robust moat around our technology. And our clients say that our IP is giving them a competitive advantage. We have had tremendous success. We have over 50 clients, and we're in revenue and growing. Our ideal client profile is a tax and compliance professional. We've played very well with payroll, with Assure Software, PEOs like TriNet and Venture, banks like Truist, and private equity like the Carlyle Group. Our business model is a B2B SaaS model. We start with a platform fee, we have implementation and setup fees, and then we have transactional-based usage model with additional workflows. We began with notices as our single workflow. I think we have 10 workflows now. We just crossed 1.1 million in annual recurring revenue with an average contract value of $43,000. Our go-to-market strategy has been to attend conferences, events, and our chief product officer and my co-founder, Rick Pinkerman, is a thought leader in our space as a speaker. But most recently, we've moved into white labeling, and this is a game changer for us. This is expanding our market very quickly. So what are our clients looking for? Well, they want a system that's automated. They're tired of the data entry and the manual aspects to their jobs. They want a system that's going to track their federal, state, city, local, and international notices. They want something that's easy to use, and they want a centralized knowledge base. Right now, we have a lot of siloed data centers. Notice Ninja is the only solution in the market that provides all of these aspects to our clients. I've been shopped, it doesn't exist, and it's proprietary. So Rick and I, we've been working together for over 20 years. It's not our first rodeo. We had a successful exit in 2008, and we began the development of Notice Ninja long ago. We've worked with a lot of industry experts, specifically here, Adrian Anderson. He was the head of KPMG tax technology for 22 years, and now he's over at BDO, helping us move into BDO. So we have an aggressive growth strategy to reach 100 million by 2027. And I'm gonna do this white labeling. I just put out my first $25 million proposal. I'm about to move into the largest PE company in the country, has 500 entities they wanna roll me out to, and I'm gonna pilot with 2 of the top 4. So we are raising $1 million. We are looking for investors that are looking to grow with us on a global scale, and we are looking for introductions to potential clients. My name's Amanda. I'm with Notice Ninja. Thank you for having me.
Okay, so wanted to take a couple minutes right now because you're probably wondering, after seeing all these amazing companies so far, how do we come up with all these amazing companies? So let me take a couple minutes to explain the process. So the Most Fundable Companies process originated with one of our alums, Jim Casperi, back in 2017, who gifted us his scoring engine for the Venture Alliance, which was an organization that was helping out VC investors and such in order to score companies. So we took that as the baseline and used that for our first competition back in 2018. And then we've just evolved since then. So like I mentioned before, we've had 99 winners so far. 88 of them are still in business, 4 successful exits, and nearly $300 million raised. So over 2,300 startups participated this year, and we've been growing our panel of judges quite extensively because now we've enhanced our software system so that we can handle all these multiple judges at the same time, and that actually it allows us to get more personally involved in scoring these companies in the later stages. So now MFC is one of the largest startup competitions in the US, but there's obvious benefit to the people who win. They get publicized as the most fundable companies and such. But what about all the others? Well, we're an educational institution. And so we have an educational purpose, and we want this process, regardless of the outcome, to help founders and to help startups. What our hope is, as startups go through this process, which is pretty grueling, that they'll learn what makes a company attractive to investors. And then they can use that to improve their company for the following year, then come back the next year and win. So that's the idea. We want to help everyone, regardless of whether they're a winner or not. Okay, so here's the funnel. So up at the top, we start with all the participants at the first level. It's called the pre-screen. This is completely automated and such, and the goal here is really to weed out the companies that aren't companies yet and such, because this is most fundable companies. It's not most fundable ideas, and so we want the companies that are in this to be beyond the idea stage. Next is the quarterfinals round, and this is a very, very intensive survey that asks a lot of very detailed questions about the company and such, and this is also primarily automated. It's using our scoring algorithm, which is updated each year. So the idea here is that we're trying to pick the 100 companies that are going to advance to the semifinals. So we do that by taking the 200 top scoring companies out of that quarterfinals round, and then looking at them actually in person, well, not in person, we don't go to the companies, but just have actual judges looking at them and try to make the determination of which of those 100 out of the 200 should advance to the semifinals. Then the semifinals round is more qualitative type of questions that we ask. And again, the idea is to get at the ones that are really, really prepared for funding, for professional funding. And then the finals round, so we take, from that 100, take 30, advance them to the finals round, and this is an interview round where the startup meets with a panel of interviewers to ask follow-up questions that we have and such, to get to know the founders a little bit more. And then from those 30 or so finalists, we pick 15 to 20 as winners, and those are the ones that are presenting here today. So, I talked about the algorithm. So we update this algorithm every year. So we try to track all the companies that participate, at least at the quarterfinals level, on an ongoing basis, not just the winners, because we want to see if we're wrong. So we track them to see how they're doing, if they're still in business, if they've received funding, if they've had an exit and such, regardless of whether they're a winner or a semifinalist. And so with that data, we can see what are the questions that really make a difference, and then update our scoring weights and our scoring algorithms for the following year. So every year, our algorithm gets better and better based on real data. Because essentially, after 4 years of data, you kind of know the trajectory of the company to a great extent. There's exceptions to this, of course, but most startups fail within 4 years. And so, we really kind of know where they're going after about 4 years, and we're using those outcomes to drive our scoring algorithm. So we've already published academic papers coming out of that, just published one this year. Does more education lead to better startup funding outcomes? The answer is yes. Unlike what you see on TV where they seem to portray that VCs really love college dropouts, we find in the data that's not really the case. And so where we come up with the optimum is at 5 years. 5 years of education, post high school, is kind of the maximum funding outcome. And this is going to vary industry to industry. And then excessive amounts of education, kind of beyond that, again, depending on the industry, can actually hurt you more than help you. But for 5 years, we'll get you most of the way through an MBA. All right, so currently working on one doing kind of the same type of analysis for age. What is the optimal age for a founder? And again, that's going to vary by industry. But it's surprisingly high. you really age only starts to hurt you like after about 53 in getting funding. So it's not just 20-somethings getting funded and such, but more experience, the better. We're currently working on a research project in collaboration with Plug-in Ventures about funding of underrepresented groups. And please, if you have any questions about the MFC process, about the program, about our research, please contact me. My email address is up there, as well as my handle on X. Okay, so moving along. Thanks for giving me a few minutes to describe the program and how we do it. Now I'd like to introduce Vince Montepart. He is one of our MFC judges. He's on our advisory council and one of Pepperdine Graziadio's most distinguished alumni. Vince's background is in technology, aerospace, transportation, logistics, and real estate. He is a venture partner at Sway Ventures and principal at Global Capital Markets, an investment banking firm, where he has managed transactions and investments ranging from $40 million to $500 million. Vince is a member of the Graziadio board and co-chair of the board's Family Business and Entrepreneurship Committee, where he serves as judge and mentor for the Most Fundable Companies competition. Please welcome Vince Montepart.
Hello, everyone. It's good to be back. It seems like a year has gone by pretty quick. So thank you, Craig, Amy, Clemens, Dean Crown for having us back. I want to thank many of the sponsors, the professors, the faculty, volunteers, the judges, and most importantly, the Graziadio Advisory Board. Thank you for all your contributing to this year's Most Fundable Companies, and congratulations to all the winners that are here today. Very proud of what you've accomplished, B. So these results that Craig talked about don't happen by accident, all right? Most fundable companies, think of it as a company. 7 years in business, okay? Over that 7 years, there are changes. Last year, I stood up here, talked about the challenges of fundraising and the different valuations that we were seeing out there. Wasn't the heydays that we saw in 21 and 22 as investors and valuations going up and money was easy to get. So we had to look at ways of how we progress the most fundable companies in working with those applicants and getting them prepared for where the markets have changed. So we increased the number of judges from 40 to 75. That's a big increase over 1 year. More interaction time with the companies. And that was extremely beneficial, at least on my part, because I got to know those individuals, got to understand their passion, their conviction, what drove them to start this business and devote majority part of their life and sacrifice not only their time, but also their time with their families. That's a big commitment. And so understanding that. But some things really don't change when you do these discussions and evaluations. We always look at the 3 Ps. First one being people, all right? Who are you? Who are you as an individual? Who is that team? Have you worked together before? Have you had an exit before? What's that drive? What's that passion? That's all important because most of the investment is down to the people. I was taught that very early on in my first fundraise many, many years ago. And the person I was presenting across the desk said, we invest in people, so tell me about yourself. That threw me off the whole pitch because I had something prepared. Next one is your plan, all right? And yeah, we all have business plans and things like that, but look at the questions that you as a company, the winners had to answer. It's all about your plan, all right? Product, technology, marketing plan, what you're gonna do about competition, fundraising plan. That's all very, very important. And the third P is profitability. Now you think, well, that profitability, that's that number at the end of the P&L statement. No, there's a lot that goes more into that. It happens between the lines, from the revenue all the way through your gross profit, your operating expenses. So start thinking about how you scale that business now. All right? Where are those lever points? Because when you go for your fundraise, someone might ask you, well, how are you going to scale the business? So if we invest X, how much more cost you have to add to the business to get to Y? And then we look, and you better have a good answer for that, because if your business model is working and you thought about the scalability of it, you'll have a great answer that you thought about. Just by experience, I was working with a CFO of a company that I invested in about 5 years ago. And it was a CFO that we hired from a fairly large public company that she wanted to get into tech. And we're working on the first budget with her. And she turned to me at the end, she goes, Vince, when do we have to start thinking about profitability? I said, now. And she thought I was crazy because how are we going to financially engineer? I said, no, we got to figure out where you're going to lever this business at. Today, that business is doing over $40 million in AR. So thinking about those early on helps that pathway. The other thing that I talked to some of you out there that I coached is I think a lot of you, embrace your greatest strength. And you're starting a business that's, we don't know what we don't know, all right? So two negatives in one sentence doesn't really work well in an educational institute, but think about it. Think about some of the decisions that you've made over your career or through your business that you didn't have all the information, and that drove you to go search somebody out, or curiosity, or thinking about another plan. And a lot of that times you make that pivot. It might not be the right one right away, but you make it right away, and you have to make another one if you have to. But embrace that. All right? There's a lot of the definitions you could go search online, a lot of definitions about it, but I think it's curiosity and be able to make fast decisions quickly. So in closing, from a most fundable company point of view, we are a community. And that's what we're here to strive to create. We share in that passion of being able to change, life, change business, and make that impact to others. So congratulations again to the winner. It's great to be back. And, we just really started. So thank you.
Thank you, Vince. That was really awesome. And thank you again. Congratulations to the winning companies here. I sensed there was a theme here today. The theme was that we had a lot of alums speaking. John Figueroa is an alum. Ryan Groves, Landon Phillips, Vince is an alum. I myself am an alum. We have a lot of alumni here in the room. So if you're an alum, can you please stand up? Please stand up. And let's give them an applause here. And thank you. So what I want you to do, please stay up, please, please, please. What I want you to do is, in the next break, remember some of the faces and talk to them. And ask them, what's so special about Pepperdine? What is the special sauce? And I hope and I think you will hear from them that we create something very, very special. Purpose-driven leaders, like no other place. You have a nice view as well, so that helps. But talk to them, and then that story should resonate, and that story should entice you to talk to your friends, your family, your uncles, your aunties, your nieces, your nephews, and bring them over here. Yeah, do a little bit of recruiting for us. We have a program that's ready and ripe for anyone. We have a program from the early career stages, early 20s, to my age group, and even older. We have a program that's ready for anyone. So, thank you again. Please sit down. And so now, that we're slowly getting closer to the break. We want to continue with our most vulnerable companies presentation. Please remember to vote. Remember to vote. There's this green button that you have to press that says take a poll. Remember to vote for the companies. And let's get started with our next company, and let's present Pitmos.
Thanks for having me here today. I'm a Penn Stater, but I'd love to go to Pepperdine. So I'm Brian Scott. I'm the CEO at Pitmos, where we make soils out of all recycled materials like paper and cardboard. We're here today presenting for a Series A of $15 million. So we're actually in Pittsburgh, the home of burning coal to make steel. What most people don't know is that every bag of potting soil that you open causes the same carbon emissions as burning about 22 pounds of coal. Most people don't know that. And that is why we are in an industry, the horticulture industry, that is really ripe for disruption right now. There are a number of problems with peat. It's currently the industry standard. It's an ecological catastrophe. We are causing 2 gigatons of carbon emissions every year just from harvesting peat out of bogs, mostly in Canada for the US. There's an excessive need for water and fertilizer, and 98% of the soil we use in the US comes from peat harvested in Canada. Our solution, our product, is a sustainable manufactured soil made from locally upcycled, recycled paper and cardboard waste. We grow bigger, healthier plants using half as much water and a third less fertilizer. We've been recognized by Better Homes and Gardens, as well as Country Living, as one of the top potting soils in America. And it's a huge market opportunity with a TAM of about $70 billion. We sell into several channels right now. Our base material is a peat substitute. What's really critical about that is that our product can be used instead of peat by all of our competitors. So even though we have competitors, they can be our largest customers. We also sell commercially to a number of greenhouses, and our retail soils, as I've mentioned, have already been rated some of the best in the United States. We've got a proven product market fit, and we're ready to scale. We've got almost $5 million in lifetime revenue, and we've already created about 1.2 million cubic feet of our product. Not only that, we have a fantastic environmental impact. You can see we have a massive reduction in greenhouse gases, a number of gallons of water savings, runoff reduction, as well as all the recycled material that we prevent from going to a landfill. At the unit economic level, post-financing, we will be able to reduce our price while dramatically reducing our cost of goods and dramatically improving our gross margins. So that's from us going from a pilot facility in Pittsburgh to production facilities throughout the United States. Our facility economics are one where we should be able to do about $4 million per facility, doing about $1.2 million in EBITDA, and that is with a single line in the facility, and we can always add more lines. So post-financing in this round, we would be looking to have 7 more sites, doing about 3x the volume in each facility, reducing our cost of goods by about a third, minimizing the logistical cost by having everything made locally instead of needing to be trucked in from Canada, and we can service much larger nationwide customers. Right now, I'm happy to report we were granted our 4th patent today, actually, and we have a number of trade secrets as well. We've got a really strong team, including one of the top soil scientists in the US, Dr. Chuck Bethke, who spent half of his career at Michigan State University. Also on our advisory board is Don Morrison, who's the CEO that built the American Eagle Outfitters brand. When we look at our pro forma, I know you were warned off pro formas, but we're saying that we should be able to do about $300 million in revenue in the next 7 to 8 years, doing about $100 million in EBITDA. The point is, it's a very, very profitable business when we're scaled. We think our most likely exits will be to those peat companies that we expect will go the way of coal companies. And in the intermediate term, those would be people that would be strategic investors or private equity firms. So again, we're raising $15 million today. Our use of proceeds would be to upgrade our current pilot facility, open 7 new facilities, make a couple key hires, and redo some of our retail branding. Post-funding, we'll have 8 facilities in production. We'll have regional shipping, which is super disruptive to the industry. We'll have the ability to serve large national accounts, and we'll have 3 to 10 new facilities per year that are totally self-funded by cash flow. Again, I'm Brian Scott. I'm the CEO at Pitmos, and I'm so happy to be here at Pepperdine today.
Okay, next up, PropTech.
Good afternoon. My name is Stefan Gunnarsson. I'm the CEO and founder of PropTech. Today I'm going to talk to you about how we engage and interact with property listings on one side, and on the other side, retail. Marrying both, we're solving a $10 trillion industry problem. Remember the last time you went house hunting? You went on these listing sites, all the same, daunting, same information, one after the other. You can't imagine yourself living in these homes as you scroll through them. Same thing is happening with brokers and agents. They're the ones putting up the listings out there, and they can't figure out what you are looking for. Retail, exactly the same thing. IKEA, when did you see IKEA in a listing? When did you have the opportunity to interact with any of the IKEA furniture, or Home Depot for that matter? Well, we've solved that problem. Over the last 3 years, we've been building our proprietary AI models that we plug in the back of real estate listings, allowing anybody to then interact with every listing. And the more they're out there, the more data we get, and the more user behavior we gather. The user, what they see as they come on the listing, they click on a little button, they start to interact with the listing, changing the furniture, adding furniture when it's empty, renovating a kitchen from an old to a new, interacting and asking what is the price of that renovation, is it actually worth it? And then eventually purchasing the furniture. Cherry on the cake, turn around, take a photo of your own furniture, put it into the listing and see the potential. Our customers, real estate portals, agencies, agents and brokers, they all need this information. Business model, very simple, B2B SaaS, based on volume. Now think of us as the Netflix of real estate. As you go on Netflix, the more you use it, the better it gets. This is PropTech. This information, we feed it to the agents, and we feed it to the retail. And again, the more they use it, the better the recommendation. Over the past 8 months, as we launched the product in February, we're present in over 1 million listings. We're processing daily over 400,000 images and increasing. Present in 63 countries, and we're working with the best in the industry. Again, 8 months ago, today, $1.6 million in ARR. October is looking pretty promising with over 200,000 in invoicing, putting us on the launch path of a good 5.5 million target for the end of the year. We're growing, US naturally being our prime target. Europe, we're onboarding clients there. First pilots are going live in Australia as well at the end of this year. Often I'm asked, what makes you different from the competition? Well, number one, we're the only ones doing what we actually do today. That makes us a first mover. We're fully scalable, and we have strategic partnerships. It's technology and it's partnerships. We're integrated. Getting us out of their system in a year time, going to be very difficult. The team, myself, serial entrepreneur, been in startups over the past 25 years. First exit in 2003. Head of sales comes out of Matterport and other industries, and other players in the industry. And then just recently, we onboarded with us Simon Baker, former CEO and chairman of REA Group, and Gonzalo, who created one of the largest, or some of the largest portals in the industry, and they work actively with us today. We're raising a little $3 million round with $1.6 million in, and we're looking to close that soon with another 1.4. The use of proceeds naturally go to market as we are scaled. This is a land grab mission as we are today. Thank you very much.
Okay, just as a reminder, please rate the startups for the fan favorites. Again, the QR code is toward the back of your program, like the next to the last page. So please do that so that we can announce our fan favorites at the end of the program. Next up, Replica Software.
Hello, I am Karine Mallet. I'm the founder of Replica Software, a social selling solution. I spent years tracking trend and consumer behavior as fashion director of Neiman Marcus and Bergdorf Goodman. And now, more and more, the evolution of consumers, more and more they're getting inspired by people they follow, by people they trust on social media. So we built Replica on the belief of two things, that the future of e-commerce is social, and that the biggest asset of a brand is its community. And by community, I'm speaking about the sales associates, if they have retail stores, influencers, fans of the brand, or experts they work with. So Replica Software enabled any brands to engage and invite their social sellers, their community, with a tool to drive online sales to the e-commerce. Our founding team has experience in digital advertising and tech. They sold startup before. We are ventured back by some of the biggest names in beauty and luxury, LVMH Luxury Venture and L'Oréal Bold. And our investors come from the consulting group. We have also been accelerated by Google, by SAP, and by LVMH La Maison des Startups. So social commerce is a very big space. It's growing rapidly. And it's not just a trend. It's really the transformation of how people are shopping now. They're getting inspired online by what people are sharing with them. And 50% of brands are really looking to solutions to activate people that could recommend those solutions. But what's out there is really not giving the answers. For example, social commerce platforms like TikTok, Instagram are great for sharing a product and inspiring, but brands are dependent on them being popular or not. They're also not getting any consumer data, and they cannot control the consumer experience. Digital ads is difficult also because consumers are now tuning off brand marketing and are really more interested in peer-to-peer messaging. This is where Replica falls in. So we created a solution that's a win-win-win for the brands, for the social sellers, and also for the consumers. For the brands, they control everything. They can invite their sellers to download the applications. With this application, sellers can create boards, share them with a link, and then the consumer doesn't know about Replica. They see somebody recommending product on social media or by message. They click on it, and they go directly to the brand's website where the brand controls this experience. This is the tool of a social seller. So any brands can deploy a remote sales force. The social sellers is connected to the brand's catalog. They can select through our integration product that they want to share on social media. They select those products. It creates a link through our application. We platform agnostic. They can share it on any social media or messaging platform. The brands can decide through the platform if they want to incentivize those sellers with money or with points. the sellers has full visibility on holiday traction, and they can have access to brand trainings, campaign, and upskilling. So far, we have 9,000 users, so social sellers on the platform. We're doing this with brands like Sephora, Dior, L'Oreal. For example, L'Oreal has over 5,000 spas and doctors activated on our platform that recommend cream to their patients. And we're creating value for them. The average order value is double. We've also have partnerships with some tech partners. We've integrated with SAP Commerce Cloud, and then with Shopify App Store, we're launching our self-serves. So we're not just catering to enterprise clients, and we also have a partnership with Google as we're integrating some Gemini AI into our platform to give better data. We are a SaaS platform, so we charge an integration fee, and then we take a license fee for every seller a brand puts on the platform. So far this year, we're on track to reach 1 million in sales. As of September, we are about at 700,000. So far, we've raised 8 million. With this 8 million, we developed the platform. We present in Asia, in America, and in Europe. We developed, we've integrated with the tech platform, and we're looking to raise 5 million to develop our self-serve Shopify model and also to go to different verticals. Thank you very much.
Okay, next up, Reverse Energy Solutions.
Hi, hello. It's great to meet you guys. I'm Charles. I'm the co-founder and CMO of Reverse Energy Solutions. RES is a company specializing in solar panel recycling. And as we know, 10 years ago, there are tons of solar panels were installed all around the world. And now, 10 years later, those solar panels are reached their lifespan and also out of performance. But right now, the most scary thing is there's no one knows how to deal with those huge number of wasted solar panels in the environment. So it's becoming a really serious problem, and RES is here to provide the solutions and technology to solve it. Here is the main problem we found in the industry, in the recycling industry. The first one is the insufficient recycling infrastructure, which leads to high logistic costs and low recycling efficiency. And the second one will be the unclear regulation, which leads to high entry costs and opportunities for innovations. And here is an example for our current market. As we mentioned, the solar farm, which have 40,000 solar panels, need to be recycled in a really short time. And the current recycler needs to send 100 trucks from their warehouse to the recycling site, and then carry all the solar panels back to their warehouse. And this process will be cost like $300,000 of logistic costs. I will go with this. And for RES, we spent $4 million and 2 years develop our innovative technologies, which is our mobile dismantle factory and station processing system. For our mobile dismantle factory, it's the modified 53-foot container can be unfolded to form an outdoor dismantle station. And by using our mobile dismantle factory, we can saving 90% of the logistic costs for clients. And we are removing 98% of the glass from the PV panel in 30 seconds. And also for using our station processing systems, we can preserve 80% of the material reusability. So here is how RES solution work. For the same solar farm, have 40,000 solar panels need to be recycled. And for RES, we only send one truck, carry the mobile dismantle factory from the warehouse to the solar farm. And then we will do a pre-dismantle for a solar panel on site. And during this process, we will remove the most heavy part of the solar panel, which is the aluminum frame and the glass above the solar cell. And after this, we only use 10 trucks to carry the solar cell back to our warehouse for the further dismantle. And for this case, we are saving $270,000 for clients. And that's why we are saving 90% of the logistic costs. And for our operating model, we will operating a core entity and 5 subsidiaries. And here's some fun fact we found in the industry. The first one is the average lifespan of solar panel is only 8 years. It doesn't like the market said, more than 20 years. That's crazy. And the second is the average number of solar panel recycled per project is 40K, which proves that the demand in the market is huge, and there is a huge number of wasted solar panels need to be recycled in the market right now. And the average byproduct value will be generated around 8 cents per pound. And for our revenue model, we will separate into two parts. First, before we provide a service to clients, we will charge a service fee. And in California, the average service fee will be $20 for one panel to be recycled. And after that, we also will sell the byproducts. And the traction is, right now we achieve 4 million annual revenue for now. So we are actually making money by doing this. And also, we achieve 7% revenue growth during 2023 Q2 to Q3. And we also only use 5 months to reach the break even. And here is the top 3 accelerator and incubator we got in: Lazy, Greentown Labs, and Techstar. They provide the mentorship for us and the pilot run support and also the industry connection. And here's our team. That's why we so believe that we can make this succeed, because all our team members come from the recycling industry. And we all have 8 years plus experience in the recycling. So we have a huge and also a lot of connections in the industry, which can help us succeed. And we already raised $4 million during our pre-seed round. And right now we are seeking for $5 million for our pre-A round. And our projection is we anticipate second year revenue is 38 million, and also targeting a revenue landmark of 76.1 million by 5th year. Thank you so much. I'm Charles, and RES is here to help the world and save the environment. Thank you.
Thanks. Okay, only 5 more companies to go, but it's time to take a break. So let's be back here in 10 minutes because we're getting a little bit behind schedule. So please visit the Slingshot booth, and please don't forget to vote.
Then he sent a reminder. So when I called him, that you said you're an investor and they're not even replying. These guys, counter to क्या होता है? पैसे नहीं है they wrote it down. Exactly. As an investor, you know. You have to do it. Otherwise, you may have fight. Everything is a Gita Brahman. Everything is expectation. If he wins, he will win, no problem. All this is nature. See, leadership quality is important. When you send him a text, he told me that he called his wife to take medicine and all that stuff. He has not asked me. I'm sitting next to him. We talk every day whether typhoon or messenger just never. I have little more information than what I have shared. And he knows that I have information, but I have still not spent it. Because I don't want you to do the wrong thing. I don't want to put pressure on you for you to do a wrong thing. One can say, okay, I don't want this qualification and we have reached this. And that's why I'm careful. Because text me. Because text me, it's like, if he wins, it's a bigger problem. For him. इतना ओवर प्रॉमिस कर चुका है and I don't want to be there for 3 years. इसके हमारे जब के 3 years मैं एग्जांपल क्या है वुमेन भी बोल रही है वो तो धीरे धीरे इसको दे अभी तो While smoking, Amit told me Bangalore president election क्या मैंने कहा कि I didn't say नहीं बना तो I said आ जाओ local board will be invited to invite leadership मैंने कहा no only me and Venkatesh will come as president elect I thought Venkatesh will come this was the whole board no I thought only the elected but जो try कर like हम तो मस्ती कर रहे हैं because थोड़ा सा ही होता है कि he's quiet okay but I'm not here that next morning he proposed leadership submit in the sentiments call ka recording you listen to the president's call how it starts Vijay Menon says tie board DOT and the chair decided to hold the leadership this मुझे पता है तो मीटिंग होती है तो मीटिंग मीटिंग होती है अच्छा पैसे भी होते हैं he said Gaurav we will take for the meeting in Renaissance he said forget the small room let's get the wall east they say दोनों चैप्टर बताया हम बैठ रहे हमने बोले सिलिकन वैली आप माई बाबू राइट तो अनीता बुरमानी इधर मैंने प्रेफर इधर किया वो इधर आके बात कर ओ गौरव तू तो ऐसे मत बोल यू कम एंड टॉक इफ आई से मैं तेरे से ऊपर हूँ तो मैं तेरे पास हूँ तो शी विल गेट इनसिक्योर सो आई सेड यू आर देयर वी आर देयर नाउ शी फॉलो शी सेंड मी ऑल चार्टर मेंबर्स सेंड मी स्क्रीनशॉट our sponsorship doc our charter leadership. It's a whole day workshop. I said I will tell you. It's a workshop. Can I next week we are coming? Next week we are coming. 8 hours of workshop come where they will do coaching, they will do training, they are preparing the leaders, they might call an external person, initiative for chapter. If I win by chance,
I feel that I feel like not just India operations, I have to appoint somebody as CEO of the company and do Thai full time.
3 years you have 3 years you have to manage time. I have a different feeling. मैंने नहीं किया, but because मेरा startup के साथ कुछ होता है. I feel हमें तो बड़ा अच्छा एक example दिया मैं वही देता हूँ. You should not same example. You should not go for this.
Same for me.
But in the halo effect, if the business is coming to you, you should not say no.
In the election campaign itself, the election campaigning itself, 3 people whom I had never spoken to before, including Taj, said, hey, I looked up your company. See, I don't use Gmail for my site, but I use the company one. So people have a tendency to go and look up my website. Right? So Taj said, hey, I need to talk to you. And he actually started talking about the जरूर that's so Lakshmi will ask you, but you should not be out on the face giving it. Shankar is like, Shankaram is like, if you don't benefit your business, will others. Yes, you want to give up. Because from the मस्ती में मैंने आप लोग बना रहे हो, मतलब डरते नहीं, क्या कॉफी है I'm telling information Bay Area time है. From Silicon Valley, if you're a CM, you can use that time to be work office. तो अपना ऑफिस है, अपना ऑफिस भी तो है, 600 Newport Drive कि 1600 Newport Drive. मेरा भाई ने वो इलेक्शन प्रॉमिस था कि जितने का मैं 300 रेस कर दूंगा पहले साल, तो मेरे घर 300 के में आ जाएगा. आजाद का ऑफिस का ही तो ऑफिस है. अच्छा आजाद कॉल में लीडरशिप सबमिट हो रहा है. आजाद से गौरव 45 सीटर है. ये बोल रहा है कम से कम 40 आई. मैं कहा भाई पहले तो कमरे बुक कर. यार तो रहेगा दिखाओ ब्लॉक. गिव मी द काउंट. हमने 12 बुक किया हुआ है. नहीं 24 कमरा मतलब कॉन्फ्रेंस रूम का नहीं रूम ना रात को. आई टोल्ड यू 24 नाइट 25 नाइट कोड दो इसको विजय को और समथिंग वी नीड वी हैव टू get the contract. So right now for the 23rd so 24th and we have 10 to 25th 23rd 25th is 24th 23rd 24th so 23rd I don't think we added on the list. Yeah, I told them.
And by the way, those who are coming from New York or Atlanta or Boston, or
25 को भी
they may stay
on 25th.
So basically, what we're not making we're taking a new market up, but we can pay the rest. Now, if you take 24 people, 10 so that's why if you give us a better headcount, we can block so many. Okay, मैं विजय मेल करके ये अंशुमन का सपना था. Credit to him. You think he was, you know how I did it. So we investor submit. अगली बार leadership submit किधर करेंगे? He always wanted leadership submit. Yes. This time it just happened. देखो अंशुमन ने बोला ये तो pitch करते मार. देखिए मतलब मांगना पड़ता है मीटिंग में सारे लोग चाहते हैं. मिल चुके हैं. हमारा खर्चा वाला तो मैं सकता मुझे मैंने कहा वो हम नहीं सकते. आई डिड नो. मैं तो बल्कि वेंकटेश कह रहा था कंफर्मेशन आ जाएगा तो मेरे को लगता है कि 3-4 मिनट 5 मिनट स्टेज टाइम टोटल. 1-2 लोग 2-2 मिनट बोलेंगे. इधर मुरली कम तो 2 मिनट बोलेंगे. बाकी चाहे के मोमेंट वी हैव केप्ट जस्ट एफआई मैंने कंफर्मेशन आना. After investor summit we learned you gotta have my son is in the business. Can you look at the screenshot? Your guy did not add me in the agenda. East Coast में ही दिया. उसमें he spoke 30 minutes. मैंने बोला मैंने अपने गाय से बात की है ना. बट फिर अमित ना तो वो 15 मिनट स्प्लिट कर. मैं कहा आया only 15 मिनट. क्रिएट करते हैं इसको भी ना बड़ा भाई कोशिश ये होती है इसको माइक चाहिए
आज लेकिन उसने स्वीट मैसेज दिया
किसने अच्छा बना ना
उसने बोला कि thank you for doing everything that you're doing for town. Really looking forward to working with you.
बालाजी बात हुई कि केविन को मैं आपसे कह रहा था कि तेरा और नीता का बोल जाएगा बालाजी अच्छा मैं कुछ डाउट कर ये बालाजी तो मैं बालाजी जिससे बात मैं मे बी आई डोंट वांट टू टेल हिम टू डू इट बालाजी को खुद बात आई रात को कान पे लगा के चले गए बात
Balaji रोज रात को फोन करते हैं just spoken to somebody during the day. So yesterday he called us and said, I spoke to Sandeep. He said he already voted.
Okay, welcome back.
I'm sorry, I don't know if he's voted or not. So Balaji,
While everyone is getting seated, I'd like to take a moment to thank our in-kind sponsors, sponsors. All of these companies have rallied their organizations to support multiple stages of our competition. Important among them is helping the list winners get exposure and get funded. So, our in-kind sponsors are Co-Founders Lab, chaired by Graziadio Entrepreneurship Senior Fellow Steve Lehman. The SoCal Kiretsu Forum, led by Chapter President Connie Harrell. She's also one of our MFC Advisory Council members. Pismo Ventures, Plug-in Ventures, Startup Steroid, who's also handling the voting for our fan favorites. Stella Foundation, that is founded and chaired by Pepperdine alum and MFC Advisory Council member Sylvia Ma. Some Ventures with Garrett Gilbertson, he's a Graziadio alum and a George Award recipient. Syndicate 708 with Margot Sullivan, also a Graziadio alum. TCA Venture Group, TCA standing for Tech Coast Angels, but they involve multiple chapters of Tech Coast Angels plus Pasadena Angels, and also Thai SoCal. So please thank all of our in-kind sponsors. Okay, and also all of these people, all of our in-kind sponsors, they're incredible professionals, many of whom are alums, but all of them friends. So now we're going to kick off our final block of Most Fundable Companies presentations. We only have five left, so please welcome Stratus Medical.
So Stratus Medical is helping patients that are suffering with chronic pain by advancing radiofrequency ablation technology. We always start with the patient and the physicians that take care of these patients. I think a slide earlier today that was presented by Cindy showed that 30 million patients in the United States suffer from chronic osteoarthritis. And that is a patient that would benefit from our therapy. These are patients who can't do what they want to do. They're struggling with pain on a daily basis. And some of these patients, it's manageable and they don't need an intervention. But for those patients that really need help, we provide hope. Radiofrequency ablation is a therapy that's been around for many years, and we do it better. We've come up with a solution in Nimbus, which I'll share with you in the next slide, which has a longer and more durable pain relief for these patients. Sometimes these patients progress to surgery, and even after surgery, they can have pain syndromes that require further intervention. So this is not a small market. This is a billion-dollar global market that is dominated by some of the large companies, such as Boston Scientific, Abbott, Stryker, Medtronic, and that's our competition. And we are winning in the United States. We started in 2020 with 0 sales, and this year we're going to have 5% US market share. So we're making a lot of progress, and the reason is we have a disruptive technology. So this is it. It's Nimbus. It's a small device that patients come in for their treatment. They're on and off the table in maybe 10, 15 minutes. And many of the patients don't even need any kind of anesthesia. So the therapy's great, and it's a large market, and we're winning in the market in the US. 65% of our revenue now comes from the US. When we started, it almost all came from outside the United States. So we have now 42 granted patents protecting our technology, and we feel like we have a great runway ahead. What we do need is funding. So we're doing a Series B capital raise to help us finish our new technologies that are in late stage development and increase our sales force. Right now we're at about 10 reps, and that's going to increase to 30 next year and then 40 the year after that. So this is why physicians love our technology. Patients on the right is one of our other products, and this is a traditional needle. It's not a device, and it's used for radiofrequency ablation. And patients typically get 3, maybe 6 months of pain relief after treatment. They can be treated in their knee, their hip, their shoulder, or anywhere in the spine. On the left, you see Nimbus. Nimbus provides a large volume lesion, which provides predictable and durable pain relief for 12 or 24 months. Our product is a simple technique that fits well and implements easily into the current workflow of the physicians. They can use the machines they're currently using, and they love it because the hospital ultimately saves money and their patients do better. So right now, 85% of our sales come from Nimbus, the product I showed you. And those are $87 each, and we sell a lot of those. This year we'll sell over 100,000 of those. But customers, even from the beginning, were saying, hey, we like what you're doing. We love your focus in this area. Can you be our supplier in the future? So we developed the Nimbus RF generator, which will power our device, and the cables that connect it. There's a new market that's coming out. It's called basivertebral nerve ablation. It's a little bit different. You can kind of see on the bottom, the ASPs are increasing, the average selling price, with the newer technologies, but the core of our business is still the results they get with Nimbus to the far left. So this kind of shows you where Nimbus is used. It can be used again in the spine, it can be used in the other joints, but Nimbus is not put into the bone, it's put near the bone. And what happens is it creates an ablation and interrupts the nerve pathway to the brain so the patient doesn't feel the pain, much like you would feel with numbing medication. In the bottom is our next generation technology, Neurovasis, which will be inside the bone. And one interesting thing about that is Neurovasis, that procedure is permanent. We have a ton of great customers across the United States and across the world. Our business is ramping nicely. This is our team. Cody will be here with me after the presentation. He's actually the first employee, and he's already had Nimbus 3 times. So this is a little about our raise. We check all the boxes. Thank you very much.
Next up is Swish Brand Experiences.
Oh, we're on. Hey, I'm Adam Stave. It is great to be here to share Swish Brand Experiences, a cutting-edge ad tech platform that is transforming the way consumer brands and retailers win with product sampling. Everyone loves getting free samples. It's this great moment of surprise and delight. You go to your mailbox, you walk down the aisle at your local grocery store, you discover a new product, you try it, maybe you even consider buying it. Sampling proves to be an effective marketing tool for brands as they look to win new customers. But for the brands who are spending billions of dollars every year on sampling, it's a nightmare. It requires extensive production, logistics, and freight requirements. It takes months to execute these campaigns with lots of partners, and it lacks the targeting and measurement that brand marketers expect when they spend a lot of money to win new customers. It's time to transform product sampling. Introducing Swish's sponsored product sampling. With Swish, brands now simply add full-size products that are already in the grocery store directly to customers' online grocery orders. By leveraging products that are already in the store, not only do we eliminate production and logistics, but we make sampling accessible to the refrigerated, frozen, and the shelf-stable products that could not sample before, all within a few clicks. What used to take months now takes minutes. We're revolutionizing the space with technology with our two-sided marketplace. On one side of our marketplace, we partner with retailers who, through a simple tech integration, they share data with us. We get to see what people are buying in their grocery orders in real time. On the other side of our platform are CPG brands who, with a few clicks, tell us what products we should add to those orders. Here's a quick look at our platform in action. Here's a brand you're most likely familiar with, adding salsa to people's orders. They log onto our platform where they select exactly which product they want to add to people's orders. And of course, they're going to tell us exactly what kind of customers they want to introduce their product to. In this case, they're going to target people who are buying tortilla chips but don't buy salsa. And of course, our platform features a performance dashboard that reports activity and measurement in real time. So when a brand gives away a salsa and someone comes back in a week, that brand knows immediately that the campaign was successful, and they get to see repeat rate and lifetime value. We make money every time we add a product to someone's order. It's a per-order transactional model. We charge brands a platform fee to add their products to an order. That's our revenue, and to add icing to the cake for our retail partners, we share that with them. We share a percentage of that revenue with our partners. I'm going to share a quick success story from one of our early campaigns for a brand called Clamone. It's no milk backwards. They're an emerging non-dairy frozen dessert brand. If you haven't heard of them, they're amazing. You should try it. They had a big challenge to address. They needed to drive trial and awareness to people who were buying non-dairy milk, people who were buying competitor ice cream like from Lactaid and Oatly and So Delicious. So they partnered with Swish, and we added full-size pints of Clamone to those customers' orders. And we saw incredible results. Within 30 days, people who received a free product were coming back and buying it. And within 60 days, we've seen customers come back buying it over 10 times. And many of those customers in their online grocery orders had never bought frozen products, so it demonstrates our ability to expand growth in the category as well. We've achieved some significant milestones on our path to market. We're really proud to say we launched in June with our first retail partner here in California, Stater Brothers Markets. And the campaigns that we're delivering for our initial brand partners are seeing incredible results, and they're renewing. And we have a really strong pipeline of retailers who are ready to adopt sponsored product sampling along with brands as well. We're also aligning ourselves with a lot of key strategic partners in the retail media space who also benefit from automated product sampling. We are highly differentiated from anyone else doing sampling in the market. We consider them indirect competitors. They are still rooted in logistics and production, while we are all about transparency and efficiency. We make sure that every product that gets given away really is effective and measurable. And we've done all this with pretty much a team of two. We have decades of experience working with retailers and brands, which allowed us to do this, I'll say pretty quickly, but it's been a couple years. And we are highly poised to disrupt an outdated category with technology. Our beautiful financial forecast, if we can continue to grow our marketplace, projected revenue of $100 million by 2029, that's gross. We're raising $2 million in a seed round. Short term, we need to put the right people and processes in place to support that growth. We want to expand beyond grocery to health, wellness, beauty, and convenience store, and expand internationally. We've got funding to date from Invest Detroit and Michigan Rise, and we're looking for partners that'll help support expertise in our space. And together, we are ready to transform product sampling, and we welcome you to join us on this journey.
Next up, Today Pay.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jeremy Balkin, the founder and CEO of Today Pay. We're a payment technology company and the world's first alternative payment method to issue and receive refunds. And we're tackling a $1 trillion problem. 599 days ago, I left a pretty big job and a pretty big career at a small place that Ron knows very well called JP Morgan, where I led fintech in the payments business to follow my dream and solve this $1 trillion problem and fix refunds and build TodayPay. And in 599 days, we have no right to have achieved as much as we have done. But it's really got nothing to do with me. It's a phenomenal team that we've built, led by our phenomenal world-class CTO, our 18 other team members who bring experience from the likes of Visa, PayPal, Amex, Affirm, Sezzle, and of course JP Morgan. We also have a commercial partnership and relationship already with another small company called Visa, which is another signal of the success we've had in a short period of time. Because we're solving a really big challenge. Refunds absolutely suck. And to paraphrase John's earlier today, we're not here to make anyone cry. People are crying. Okay, we're fixing that. 1/5 of everything bought in the US is returned. Now, a return is not a refund. A return is a logistics problem. It's shipping. Attached to the return is a refund. It's a payment. We're in the payments business. Now, not every refund is created equal. Merchants issue refunds. Marketplaces issue refunds. Issuing banks, like your credit card provider, issues you refunds. Acquiring banks, who banks the merchant, issues a refund. A chatbot could issue you a refund. A check could be the refund. Every dollar of that TAM is up for grabs. Every dollar is up for grabs. We have a solution to solve for every refund use case. We have a very disciplined go-to-market. Okay, we're not fishing in a massive pond and trying to catch all fish. We know exactly where we're going. But over time, every dollar is up for grabs. And the reason is because the status quo is a shitty customer experience. It's not another company, it's an experience. And what we're doing is doing to refunds what has been done with $200 billion of investment and innovation in payments at the front end of checkout over the last 2 decades. That is to give merchants and consumers payment choice with 25,000 different ways to pay things, which is called a payment method. You can earn cash back rewards every time you spend money for your loyalty, and it's instant. That happens with payments. It's never been easier to spend money. It's also never been harder and more friction to get your money back. And I see so many people nodding and smiling because you all know the pain. It sucks. By the way, it also sucks not just for the consumer, it sucks for the merchant. And we're doing to refunds what has been done to payments, where we give merchants and consumers choice, an alternative payment method, the world's first, to issue a refund. Merchants and consumers can also earn cash back on every dollar of refund, which is unheard of, by the way, until now. And it's instant. And we're not going to slow down, and we're going to die trying making this market. So as for our technology, we have an incredible team, and we're building some world-class technology. We've had some phenomenal accolades in a short period of time that we've been operating. In payment terms, the technology that we've actually built, is what's called a cloud-native payment switch. It's not a test. No one needs to know what that is. All I'll tell you is this. If all else fails for TodayPay, if our current customers stop using us and our pipeline of customers don't use us, I think it's a close to 0 probability. But if all else fails in the TodayPay garage sale of our assets, our switch is extremely valuable. The last 2 known transactions, publicly disclosed transactions for a payment switch by Fortune 500 companies in the US in the last 3 years were 9-figure transactions. That's 10x of where our valuation is today. We operate B2B. We serve businesses and ultimately serve their customers and enterprises. We're also accelerating our go-to-market, and we're launching a direct-to-consumer app, which if you go to refundapp.com, you can join the wait list. Use code Pepperdine. My team always kills me for saying this. If you use code Pepperdine, the first 10 of you will jump the queue when we do our next release to use it. But here's the thing. My vision was always to go B2B, and then in 2026, 2027, go direct to consumer. I told my team about my vision over summer. They said, let's go do it now. And we ideated, scoped, designed, and built this thing in 72 days. 72 days. It's going live November 1st. That's going to open up a whole other piece of that TAM for us, going direct to consumer, where consumers for the first time will get cash back on a refund, speed, and choice. Our take rates currently on our transactions in the B2B space is 4 times that of a company called PayPal. We do something completely different to them. The point is, that if we could build a business that over time will have a similar take rate to one of the greatest companies ever built in our industry, I think our investors will be happy. Of course, it's 4x now. If it converges to equal, I think our investors will be happy too. 0.0018% is the market share we need to break even as a company, which we're going to do next year. Our learned colleagues here, I'm sure, could tell you, professors, that that's a number closer to 0 than it is 1. We don't need wild assumptions to be wildly successful. We're extremely disciplined. Now, if we get to 1% market share, which will be a phenomenal short-run achievement, I think it'll be a failure in the long run. We think there's $500 million of revenue based on our current models. And we want people who can help us win. That's what we're here to do. We're playing for the long haul. I walked away from a huge career, not for some midlife crisis, to go and build the future and go and fix the trillion-dollar problem. And if you can help us win, we want to talk to you. Thank you very much, and congratulations, everyone. Thank you.
Okay, next up, viral moment.
Hey everybody, my name is Chelsea. I'm the founder and the CEO of Viral Moment. And I'm very pregnant, in case anyone noticed. I'm out of breath just from walking down the stairs, so give me a second. We have built the first AI that can actually see and read inside a video, just like a human can. Today, we've made over $1 million with customers including Coca-Cola, Warner Brothers, I'm like blanking on my amazing customer list right now. Coca-Cola, Warner Brothers, Ogilvy. We work with the Army. We work with a major political party. People need to see inside video, and we're the people that can provide that. There's been a paradigm shift. The internet looks incredibly different today than it did 5 years ago. Quick show of hands, who's watched a video online or on their phones today? People online watching this on the broadcast, you guys have watched a lot of video today. Hey, good to see you. The average person watches 3.5 hours of video every single day on the internet. And here's an interesting fact. Gen Z actually performs more searches on TikTok than on Google. And we're getting search results via video now. Video is the new way that we communicate. And oh my goodness, this presents kind of a whole new world that technology and tools have not kept up with to date. And some major problems. First and foremost, anyone can make a video of just about anything right now using generative AI. And how do you, whether you're a person, you're a brand, understand what's out there? I talk to so many leaders at Fortune 500 companies all the time who are telling me, not only is a video a black hole, there's so much of it, it takes so much time, we can't stay on top of it, but a lot of the platforms that are serving us today, video, have algorithms. We call it algorithm fog at Viral Moment. How can you see past the algorithm of whatever the platform you're using is showing you to really understand the whole world and landscape? Before Viral Moment, you couldn't. This is a $600 billion problem that we're working on. So a little bit about the technology. We've got a patented proprietary AI that we've built in-house. My co-founder, Shada, she's got 2 master's degrees from Carnegie Mellon, and she used to work for NASA, piloting drones with computer vision. So a lot of the traditional solutions will tell you a little bit about text, what's happening in text. There's a whole industry that can kind of decode that. Think of like Google in the 90s making the text internet understandable. We have created the first technology and AI that can actually watch and understand a video. And think of all the crazy stuff you get out of a video, right? Facial expressions, tones, gestures. Humans understand that, but before Viral Moment, machines could not. And that's exactly what we've built and commercialized. Today, we've commercialized this AI technology as a B2B SaaS analytics solution. Here I am with getting pregnant and out of breath, guys, so give me a break here. Oops, let's see. There we go. We've done over $1 million in revenue to date. We have over $7 million of revenue in our pipeline right now. I used to work for the Department of Defense. I didn't even mention, I'm a Pepperdine alumni, so a Seaver grad. So to all my Seaver people, it's so good to be here. I got my undergrad from Pepperdine, went on to Carnegie Mellon, worked for the Department of Defense doing disinformation technology, basically what do people say on the internet. Again, Shada, my co-founder, 2 master's degrees from Carnegie Mellon, she's the real genius here. And we've built an incredible company. We're partnered with Amazon, we're partnered with Microsoft, we're supported by Carnegie Mellon, we're supported by Stanford, Techstars LA, and Plug and Play. Whew. And we're raising. So we have raised $3.6 million to date in our seed funding. I am planning our Series A for next year. I'm very excited because to date we've had a social listening technology, which is helping the biggest brands in the world understand TikTok, YouTube Shorts, what's trending, what's blowing up in the world, what's happening on the internet. But we're actually commercializing our AI video technology as our next step and bringing it to other industries. So we're branching out of the social listening technology world as our next step. I am planning a Series A next year, but I am taking investment right now on Save Notes at a discount. So please come talk to me after and join me on my mission. Video matters. It influences our beliefs, our decisions, our purchasing behavior. It informs our truths. Help me on my mission to make that clear. Thank you. And vote for us, because everyone's leaving and it's late in the day, so we need the vote.
Yes, please vote. Our last company, Weave 3D.
All right, I know I'm the last pitch between you and cocktails, but I will get serious here for a couple of minutes. My name is Louis Motion, founder and CEO of Weave 3D, and I am on a mission to make every vehicle lighter. I'm a United States Coast Guard Academy graduate, former naval aviator, Coast Guard search and rescue pilot, and one of the elite Coast Guard aviation special mission pilots. This is the $10 million helicopter I flew. I was entrusted to fly this into extreme conditions that no sane pilot would fly into. I flew into hurricanes as well as gunfights, and this helicopter was not intended for either one. For me, every time I flew, weight was a life and death matter. If my aircraft was not light enough, I could not land on the ship that was the only option for landing within hundreds of miles. If my aircraft were not light enough, I could not save the lives of those that were stranded at sea. If my aircraft was not light enough, I would have to leave my rescue swimmer in the water, in the ocean, at night, not knowing if I'd be able to come back and recover them. Aircraft weight dictated the safety of everything I did. The lighter the aircraft, the safer and more capable it became. And the same is true for any type of vehicle. The lighter it is, the better the performance, the greater the range, the safer it becomes. Now, the problem is that despite the automotive industry adopting lightweight metals, cars are heavier today than they were 20 years ago. That's a problem. And mass-produced plastics aren't strong enough nor light enough to displace those metals. Lightweight, high-performance plastics, like those that are used in aerospace applications and racing industries, are simply too expensive, and they are impossible to adopt for high volume and cost reasons. Until now. I met my co-founder, Chris. He had a background in composite manufacturing for Sikorsky helicopters, which we also flew in the Coast Guard. And he was working on his PhD, developing a new way of manufacturing lightweight, high-performance composites. And together we built an amazing team from a diverse background to be able to address this problem to bring high-performance materials to mass-market applications. And we came up with a solution that we call rebar for plastics. What we do is we allow manufacturers to utilize their existing molding equipment to transform inexpensive plastics into high-performance parts by internally strengthening them with our tailored Weave 3D lattice structures that strengthen the plastics much like steel rebar strengthens concrete. Now, this enables us to empower our customers to create parts that are stronger and lighter than carbon fiber and cost the same as steel, just like this door crash component. And we can produce hundreds of thousands of units per year off of a single machine. And this isn't just a science experiment. We have 3 machines. This is from our current commercial version machine in our manufacturing facilities in Atlanta. And in addition to this wonderful, most fundable company opportunity, we have actually been recognized with significant major awards, global awards, where we've been competing against and beating such billion-dollar companies like Honda, Toyota, Porsche, Engel, for innovation in part, manufacturing, material, And we've been partnering with some incredible companies as well. Antolin is one of the largest, if not the largest, automotive interior parts suppliers in the world. Braskem is the largest global biopolymer supplier in the world, based out of Brazil. And we also just started working with one of the largest automotive suppliers based out of Wolfsburg, Germany. I can't name them, but you can guess who that is. And they're helping us bring the product to market. And between these partners and the awards that we've been receiving, we're quickly accelerating our customer traction. These are paying customers. They're working with us to develop specific solutions to them that they intend to bring to mass market production. We have 8 issued patents, 3 more pending, extensive trade secrets, and the National Science Foundation continues to validate our science. This is a massive $100 billion market opportunity. It's very sticky. Once it's adopted in low-volume application, it quickly is adopted and spreads and stays. We have the opportunity to be able to capture $250 million of this market as soon as 5 years with the right partners and capital infusion. We are raising $20 million right now through a series of seed rounds, through combined growth and working capital. I'd love to have you join this journey. This will help get us to profitability in less than 3 years. If you're interested, please come and see me. Thank you for this opportunity.
Okay, there you have them, the 2024 Pepperdine Graziadio Most Fundable Companies. Okay, so last chance, you need to vote. So the polls are going to close here in the next few minutes. So go out and rate the presentations and the companies. And while we tally those results, please welcome to the stage Managing Director at JP Morgan Advisors, Graziadio alum and MFC Advisory Council President, our good friend, Ron Munman.
Wow. I literally don't even know what to say. I've been involved in this program for, I think this is my 5th year now. And every year it just gets better and better and better. So to all of you, congratulations. It's so impressive. New networks spread across the landscape in an intricate web, carry information and freight across continents and over oceans with astonishing speed. The pace of business accelerates sharply. Dazzling new technologies transform lives. New media flourish. New industries emerge. The breadth, the depth, the rate of change is exhilarating and profoundly unsettling as well. The gap separating the rich and poor grows wider. Investor speculation runs rampant. Businesses rise and fall. The workforce is forever changed as entire occupations are downsized, out of existence, and entrepreneurs collect vast fortunes. Sound familiar? Well, it should. It's indicative of our times. However, my opening paragraph was extracted from one of my favorite books, Wisdom from the Robber Barons, written by George David Smith. Describes my favorite era of business, indelibly stamped by legendary entrepreneurs like J.D. Rockefeller, Andrew Carnegie, and my own, J.P. Morgan. With their vast influence came concerns. Were they merely exploiting workers and resources for personal gain? Or were they visionaries leading the charge into a new era? The debate is a mirror of what we face today with the rapid advancements of artificial intelligence, and actually a theme that you've heard multiple times today. AI, like the transformation technologies of the past, is poised to redefine the world as we know it. Whether it's revolutionizing healthcare, automating industries, or making our daily lives easier, AI holds boundless potential. And just as the Industrial Revolution brought both fear and excitement, we find ourselves at a similar crossroads. The robber barons use their innovations to drive growth of entire sectors, just as AI is now driving advancements in everything from finance to manufacturing to education. However, unlike the era of the robber barons, where wealth and power became centralized under just a few, AI's promise is more democratizing. Today, you will harness AI to challenge industry giants and leverage this technology to become creators, innovators, and entrepreneurs in ways that were even unimaginable 10 years ago. I received my MBA from Pepperdine in 1993, a program I consider to be one of the best in the nation. I never thought I'd be standing here today, 32 years later, in front of all of you. But ironically, I couldn't be more proud of your accomplishments, impressed by you, the entrepreneurs creating transformational change. Make no bones about it. This time will be revolutionary. It will happen faster and with greater impact. And I feel so blessed to be a part of the most fundable companies at Pepperdine. Old enough to recognize the importance of what is happening and still young enough to embrace the change and the impact it'll have on my children and my grandchildren. Henry Ford once said, "History is more or less bunk. It's tradition. We don't want tradition. We want to live in the present, and the only history that's worth a tinker's damn is the history we make today." In the words of Henry Ford, go make history. Congratulations to all of you.
Okay, I think they're finishing up the tallies up there. So thanks again to JP Morgan for their gold sponsorship support of today's showcase, and thank you, Ron, for all of the things that you do for us to support the MFC program today and throughout the year. So now it's time, it's the time we've all been waiting for, the unveiling of the fan favorites. Just some logistics. So founders of the 18 winners. If your company is called, please come to the front of the room to receive your award. All 18 of you, please don't leave the room because we're going to do all the pictures and handshakes and such, which is a change in our program this year. We're doing that after so that other people can go out to the patio. So if you're one of the 18 winners, please stay in the room and we'll do the pictures. If you're one of the 3 fan favorites, come up right now as soon as your name is read. Okay, so I'll turn this over back to Ron to read the winners.
Okay, our third fan favorite, and when I announce your name, if you'd please come up, is Magic Box. And our number two fan favorite is Axio. Congratulations. And our number 1 fan favorite is Stratus Medical.
Okay, well, thank you for attending our event today. Please join us outside to meet with all the founders and chat with each other. Again, thanks for everyone who participated today, all of our sponsors, all of the judges, and especially all of the fantastic startups. Okay, and that concludes our event. Thank you.
Shelley Miles, Vince Montecart. Please join us for photos.
India knows how to crack the code. Bangalore made a special team of 3-4 people that they know